Test 1 2, test 1 2. Okay, well, I think everything's good. Ethan Klein and Hasan Piker finally did it. They finally did the thing. They sat right down and they hashed out their differences in the marketplace of ideas like true gentlemen. The debate. The thing that all of society revolves around. Okay, let's see. Hasan Piker versus Ethan Klein. Let's get into it. So, right off the bat, I haven't seen any spoilers for anything. Ethan Klein posted it on his channel, obviously. Hasan Piker posted it on his channel, and I have to say, Hassan's kind of getting cucked in terms of the views. 150k views in 8 hours, versus for Ethan Klein, well, I guess this was 22 hours ago, which, to be fair, he got it up 16 hours earlier. 1.18 million views. I haven't watched anything. I haven't seen any comments or gotten any kind of spoilers or anything at all, but we're going to just get into this. And so Hassan really likes to edit down a lot of his videos. This is 4 hours, 44 minutes long, so I don't think this is edited. I think this is just the uncut stream. And also Ethan's video is like 10 minutes longer than Hassan's. We're going to be looking at Ethan's just because it is a little bit longer, and he also has timestamps. This will be my 23rd time. Bro, it's only been out for 22 hours. It's your 23rd time watching a review of it. Been waiting for this. Yeah, we'll see how many people actually want to spend their Saturday watching me watch a debate, but it's nice outside, so I put up my whole setup outside, and we're gonna be checking it out. Hassan had better live views though. I mean, it's also his channel that he uploaded the VOD to 20 or 16 hours after it was on Ethan Klein's channel. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it has more views. Also, it had like 96k views 30 minutes ago when I pulled this up, so he's getting a lot of views on his YouTube channel. I'm just kidding, but I'm also clicking on every left-leaning channel that's reviewing it. Hey, well, happy to have you here, and without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna skip the intro because who knows if Ethan has copyrighted this music.
Gonna end a lot better than the second time, right? I mean, it's gonna end a lot better the second time than it did the first time, right? How could it be worse?
I would love for that to be the case, sure.
Hassan is calling in, of course, at 12:30. I have 10 minutes to schlep around here. So I want to say, first of all, thank you to Shopify for sponsoring us.
I have 10 minutes before Hassan gets on the call. Let's do ads. Okay, we're gonna skip the Shopify ads. Who cares? Oh my god, is it really 10 minutes of ads? This is worse commercials than cable news or cable television.
Important.
I always thought Ethan was tweaking. I didn't know he had that shit.
And, well, also, I should have disclosed up front that I have Tourette's to the wider. I should actually do that, right? I'll do that.
I've never made
Disclosure
fun of Ethan for that.
This is the most bad faith you've seen, Ethan, and it's not even close. The only spoiler that I got was I opened up Reddit, and on purposely I wasn't looking at Reddit at all, but I opened it up, and the top post was from Ethan's subreddit, and it was, not gonna lie, Ethan's kind of dog walking him, which I wonder, that has to be a reference to Hassan saying that Zionists aren't fit to be dog catchers, and Ethan being like, he's saying Jews aren't fit to walk dogs. Anyway, that's actually kind of a funny callback.
So let me just thank our sponsor, and then we'll probably just hop on with Hassan Abbey, the one and the only. Thank you to Shopify for sponsoring us today. Man, I love these guys.
What? Didn't he just do an ad for Shopify? It's still more Shopify ads. Like, guys, morals aside, is it not nice watching leftist content creators and them not doing ads? Or if they do read ads, it's like Majority Report, where it's quick and concise at the beginning of the show and then it's never interspersed throughout the rest of the episode at all. And at least with Majority Report, with their clips, there's no ads. It's like if you watch their live thing at the beginning of every show, they have a 10-minute ad that you can just skip through at the beginning, then they never bring it back up.
Very good, very good.
All right, well, I don't know if I want to thrust poor Gabe into the center of this.
He's not here.
We haven't,
Okay.
we haven't heard from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's smart.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to get involved in.
What did Zach say? He's like, as a Jewish person, I felt real uncomfortable by what Sam Cedar said. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You can't really say that when it's Sam Cedar. Like, once again, the fact, like, Jewish or not, it's irrelevant to the facts of the matter. But anti-Zionist Jews do throw like a monkey wrench into the machinery of the Israeli propaganda machine.
Nice.
The first time ever.
Yeah.
That's so
The
funny.
first Friday, he's a no-show.
I have a different palate cleanser since Gabe isn't here. We got a puppy. This is Rocky. This is Lena's puppy.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
cute. He's so sweet.
I'm playing with Rocky today.
You've had him for one day?
One day, yeah.
And
Bro, that dog needs a haircut. Also, holy shit, Zach is a literal real-life NPC. You said it, not me.
how did you do last night?
It was a long night, but his cuteness made up for it. I didn't sleep last night at all.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How come you didn't sleep?
I think it was him combined with today's episode.
Nervous,
Yeah.
Today's episode? Bro, it's Hassan. It's not like The Undertaker. It's not like you're missed your flight on Final Destination and you're worried about what's gonna happen next. It's a fucking video call. Why do these guys act like the internet is the most bravest, harrowing place that someone can exist on? Ethan's like, I watched a video without watching it before and then pre-writing my responses to everything. Now they're like, Ethan, you're so brave talking to Sam Cedar and talking to Hassan. You're such a big, beautiful, brave boy.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Also, you usually don't sleep anyway, right? On top of all that.
As I grow older, I sleep more.
You've been sleeping more? That's
I
good.
mean, still not great, but more than I was.
He's so sweet. You guys are going to love that dog. That dog is going to improve your life, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna make you guys-
It's awesome. Lena's never had a puppy before, so she's going through it for the first time.
You know, it's a really wonderful step towards like having a kid together. And I know that sounds maybe silly, but having a puppy from like 4 months old, I think you said he is
Yeah.
pretty serious business. And it takes like a commitment of two people working together to love this one beautiful creature that you all love more than anything in this world.
Yeah.
You're about to spend a lot of money on dog chews because you love him so much.
And carpet cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
That's-
those freaking pizzle sticks. You looked into those yet, AB?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they love those. It's like,
Oh my god, who cares? This is what they're talking about. Come on, let's have some pre-debate prepping. Hassan actually called in. I'm gonna really quick open up Hassan's video and see if he has any preamble to the call.
and now explain what he.
No spoilers, Hassan. No spoilers.
Piker.
What's going on?
Okay, he has no preamble. All right, well, Ethan has all the views. We're gonna give him more views. You know who else loved dogs? Who? It's a complete coincidence.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Hasan Piker.
It's gonna be long before I feel like.
Bro,
we're gonna have to
Hassan
have
with the
second,
Palestinian flag scarf on.
second
Yep.
puppy.
Hold on. So, So there's like people have been talking about John Fetterman a lot. I think Ethan should have gone with the the Israeli flag cape. I think he should have done that to just to match Hassan. Just like pull a John Fetterman. Now he doesn't have as much brain damage as John Fetterman does, but so I guess he's not at the cape level of Hasbara yet.
Yeah.
Live.
All right, folks, that's enough of the dog chat. It's time. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hasan Piker.
Hello, Hasan Piker.
What's going on?
Well, I'm doing a debate. What about you?
That's what I'm doing as well. All right. Wait.
Bro, just right off the bat, this is so cringy. This is painful to watch. This is like British version of The Office levels of social embarrassment. It's painful to watch these two interact with each other.
Hold on. Oh, are you going to show me all the time as well on the Zoom call?
Here, I can fix that. 1 second. Let me just set it to Ethan's output here.
If you want,
there you go.
if you want, just show like.
I really don't know why they don't have like a multi-camera view of both of them. That seems to be kind of standard, but like it feels like it's more work to try to toggle back and forth to the person who's talking.
Not just Ethan, but yourself as well. If you're going to talk, like that's fine.
Hey,
I don't know if it's gonna
Hassan,
be too difficult.
leave the production notes to my team. You can switch your show how you like.
Well, you know, they were my coworkers as well, Ethan.
Well, it's been a
for 2
while, my
years.
friend.
Bro, what is happening? This is so painful. Immediately, this is so painful. Actually, what the fuck? The crazy X vibe is so heavy in this debate. It's so weird. It's actually like they had a romantic
My team.
Bro, Ethan's actually pissed off that Hassan's like giving advice on production. It's so much worse than you could have imagined.
There you go.
If you want, just show like not just Ethan, but yourself as well. If you're going to talk, like that's fine.
Hey,
I don't know if it's gonna
Hassan,
be too difficult.
leave the production notes to my team.
Hey,
You can
I mean-
switch your show how you like.
Well, you know, they were my coworkers as well, Ethan.
Well, it's been a
for 2
while, my
years.
friends, and guess
Yeah, I
what?
know.
They are not now.
No, I know.
So let's start. I mean, so you did this content cop, right? And I mean, did that go how you expected? It didn't seem to hit
Wait,
very hard.
Before we get started, can
what is Ethan doing? He says that he wants to debate Hassan or whatever for whatever reason. And Hassan really said, I'm going to debate you after the content nuke that Ethan did. And now immediately Ethan's like, he's like, oh, did the content cop hit as hard as you thought it would? Hassan didn't do it. Sure, he cameoed in it. Like, if you want to talk about the content cop, talk to iDubbbz about it. Just like if you wanted to talk to Hassan when you're talking to Sam Cedar, talk to Hassan about it. Ethan had countless clips to bring up about Hassan when he was talking to Sam Cedar, and now that he's actually talking to Hassan, he brings up the content cop? Like, what is happening?
can I lay some like ground rules so we can have like a productive conversation?
Okay, sure.
Thanks for the super chat, NJ Ranger. If only you knew how bad things really were. Is that what Ethan's doing? Hey!
Yeah. Okay. So, I wanted to come on to make this as issue specific as possible. But yes, you have grievances with me, and
Okay.
of course, I think they're valid to address.
Okay, good.
Of course, we'll talk about that. Hopefully, I'll be able to address some counterpoints as well, if
Sure.
you will allow me
Of
in
course.
that process.
Absolutely.
But before we get started on anything, I would like to potentially talk about definitions so we can have like an established definition on a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about. Is that okay with you?
I mean, it depends how many definitions you got. What do you want?
The aspect being making Hassan answer for all the other people who hurt Ethan's fifis. I should have made a bingo card for this, but like, of course Ethan's gonna bring up Denims. Of course he's gonna bring up Frogan. Of course he's gonna bring up Bad Empanada. He's gonna bring up all of these people. And when Hassan says, I don't know, Ethan, talk to them, he's gonna be like, well, they support you and you support them. So actually, it's your words. So you need to be responsible for them. Like, once again, Ethan says that Asmongold is a good guy. He brings on Lonerbox. He talks about Nicholas Diorio. He's, like, tangentially related to Destiny. He loves Keemstar. So are we going to try to associate Ethan with all of the shitty things that those guys do? I don't think so, because I believe in holding one person accountable for their actions. Yeah, also, I love how the main criticism from his crew after the Sam Cedar debate was, maybe we could have definitions. Maybe it would be helpful if we have definitions. And then immediately Hassan's like, let's start with definitions of things. Like, I'm kind of curious to see how Ethan responds to that.
I want to define. I don't want to get bogged down in this, so let's.
I'm also experiencing audio issues on my end, so
Sure.
hold on
Go
one
ahead.
second.
No worries. No worries.
Okay. All right, so you're fine with that.
I mean, I'll do up to a point. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like
I don't want to get bogged
basic
down in a
stuff. I'm not-
conversation.
It's not like a gotcha.
Go ahead, start.
I'm not-
Start. No.
There was one, where was it? Before we get into this, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about. And I think it was the Sam Cedar one.
Throughout the 2010s, but it was at a high in 2010 of 71% of Israelis supported two-state solution. It looks like that number is now in like the 20s.
2010. That's interesting. That's about
15 years
when I
ago.
was living there.
Whoops, I muted it. He said amazing, amazing, amazing. You look amazing. It's amazing. Let me just look up. Recapping the debate. Ethan said something like, "It's amazing how Hassan gets all of these people to go after me."
About what he believes. I have the clip. Where is that motherfucker?
Bark, bark, woof.
Oh!
Yeah, he says, here's what he said yesterday about my...
Our Discord, there's a video.
Why does that have to...
Joni update?
Start to if you want.
So they
Leave
can
it on
see
Ethan,
me.
I guess.
I
Talk
don't
slash
know.
debate with Uncle Sam Cedar. He is he present himself efficiently.
Opposite of what played out, so.
But I
Oops.
laugh because he's trying to poison the well ahead of me and Sam agreeing on everything. Although Sam was not very sweet and lovely, he came out ready to go, and that's good. I'm always ready.
That's good. Tries to hide his tears. So who's putting onions around here? Anyway, so yeah, Hassan had to poison the well, and that's why Sam Cedar came out and was so spicy in the debate. Not because Ethan had bad ideas, but because Hassan ruined Ethan's image in front of everyone.
Oh, I know you're not. I just want to get going.
All right. So first and foremost, I think we should define what Zionism is and what you mean by Zionism and what I mean by Zionism.
Zionism.
So I said earlier this week that I don't think Hassan's going to do a better job debating Ethan Klein than Sam Cedar would have. And I still stand by that. Now, I didn't realize that the Sam Cedar debate would be limited to an hour because of Sam Cedar. He only had an hour to talk. And because of that, I think that left a lot on the table. Like, I would love to see Sam talk with Ethan again. Now, Hassan's doing a really good thing here by laying out definitions ahead of time so that Ethan can't dance around it and be like, well, when you say Zionism, you actually mean Jews. And then Hassan's going to be like, no, I don't. I mean people that are fascistic in regards to Israel. That's what he means. So I think, like, even though I think Sam Cedar is a better debater than Hassan, just because he's done it way more than Hassan has, I think Hassan's doing a smart thing here at the beginning of the show.
Is the belief that Jews should have their own homeland in the historic Palestine area. That's it.
Okay. All right. So I believe.
And once again, when he says their own homeland, what Ethan means is an ethno-state, like their own homeland, not just Jews should have a place to live, right? Jews should be safe and secure. Everyone would agree with that. Everyone would be like, yeah, of course. Every person should be safe and secure and not be persecuted by by their neighbors. But he says a place, their own homeland, that's specifically an ethno-state. And no one has a right to an ethno-state. That's racism. Like, an ethno-state is racism. You can have an ethno-state just through happenstance and like a lack of immigration, but if you then discriminate against other people from moving there, that's racist. And I don't like racism. That's why I'm against ethno-states.
That Zionism is a religious ethno-supremacist ideology that revolves around the exterminationist policies of removing the indigenous population that lived in, as you said, historic Palestine, as long as they are not Jews, because it's a ethno-religious supremacist ideology. I think that this is a disagreement that you and I have.
No, I agree with
on this
you.
front.
I agree with you. If you want to add that, like the genesis of Zionism included, you know, the displacement and
Oh, here we go. This is my favorite talking point from Ethan. He says, "Oh, well, Israel, sure, you can argue it did genocide and it did ethnic cleansing, but that was when it was created. I mean, are we going to discriminate against America, who also did genocide and ethnic cleansing when America was created? No, we say let bygones be bygones. So let's just let bygones be bygones." It's like, okay, he's basically arguing against land back movements, which that's one thing. You can have a conversation about whether you want land back movements and you want to say that all Palestinians should be able to trace back their ancestry and be able to take homes back that their ancestors lived in, or their grandparents, or even their parents lived in. You can have that argument. However, Israel is still legislating based off of race, and they still treat Palestinians as a second class of citizens, even within Israel, and especially within the West Bank and Gaza. So this is a very much active ethnic cleansing campaign that Israel's doing. It's not in the past. And we can also say, sure, yeah, fuck America for doing its ethnic cleansing and never making amends for that. We should do land back to Native Americans. But Ethan Klein's going to say, well, that's all in the past, so we shouldn't worry about it, and you're being hypocritical by targeting Israel. I would even dare say you're being anti-Semitic for targeting Israel when America's done that exact same thing. And then the counter argument to that would be, okay, well, America did a bad thing, and it should atone for its bad thing, just like Israel should atone for its bad thing, and Israel is actively doing that bad thing right now.
you know, the ravaging of the culture that existed there, then I would agree with you. I mean, I don't think that the establishment...
The ravaging of the culture that existed there. No, Ethan, they're not just ravaging the culture. They did ethnic cleansing and genocide to the Palestinians. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of Israel, is to clear out the land from any Palestinians that were there.
...of Israel was like a good thing. I mean, it was tragic and a lot of bad things happened. But let me ask you, sir.
Okay.
Completely writing over everything. He's like, oh yeah, it's tragic and a lot of bad things happened. Almost said on both sides a lot of bad things happened.
How was filming that content? I just have to know what...
Holy fuck, dude. Immediately agrees with Hassan, and he's like, yeah, the creation of Israel is bad, but now that it's created, Zionism isn't a bad thing, because, you know, whether you like it or not, there is an ethno-state there, and nothing's going to change that. In fact, if you do want to change it, now all of a sudden you're being discriminatory against Jews.
You felt what you were thinking as they were doing the Fortnite L behind you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
No.
What the dude, holy shit. Ethan cannot stop himself for a single minute.
Here, I don't want to talk about definitions. You got your Zionism. And let's...
What? He doesn't want to talk about definitions? He's like, no, Hassan, I reserve the right to have Zionism mean whatever I want it to mean in this exact moment that I use it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was fine.
Did you not?
I've participated in other YouTube videos as well in the past.
No, but that Fortnite L dancing.
Some of them feature.
Bro, holy shit, that actually triggered the fuck out of Ethan. That triggered him so bad. I mean, he's called Frogan the dumbest person in the world. How can he be mad that she did an L, like a Fortnite dance, in a video that was directed towards him? Actually insane.
Some of them feature sketches.
I noticed you weren't in the other shots. Why was that?
I think I was being interviewed.
Bro, this is so embarrassing and petty. Holy shit. Actually insane. Oh yeah, Hassan's been wanting to talk to me about a active genocide that's been going on and the ideology that justifies its genocide. I have been accused of participating in that ideology. But now that I finally have Hassan here to talk, I'm going to ask him about a little shitty video that my former friend made that was saying I was a bad friend.
Oh, really?
By
Who was
the
interviewing
journalist while that was happening.
Really?
I don't remember.
Really? Oh, that's convenient. I think you were embarrassed, frankly. You were absent from every other shot. I think you saw
Wait,
him doing
why
that.
would I be-
I think you saw him doing that Fortnite dance, and you said, "I got to get out of this." And by the way,
No, I
I'm
don't
giving you
care.
credit for that.
I mean, Ethan, you're a comedian. You know, you participated in some sketches. You know,
Nothing
it
that
happens.
I mean, shit. Yeah.
Really? You're one of your most famous sketches. You in a fucking diaper. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. We've done funny things.
Okay, you know what? Let's not debate
Yeah.
the merit of our comedy. You're right. I'm very happy.
Bro, holy shit. Hassan's like, let's talk about definitions. Ethan, no, I don't want to talk about definitions. I want to talk about your friends doing a Fortnite dance. Hassan says, you've done stupid shit on YouTube videos before too. And Ethan's like, okay, fine, you're right. We don't have to talk about this anymore. What is like, dude, you, oh my god. Like, this is actually kind of making me lose my mind.
Hacky and so
Sketches you in a fucking diaper. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. We've done funny things.
okay, you know what? Let's not debate
Yeah.
the merit of our comedy. You're right. I'm very hacky, and so are you.
Okay, so-
by the way, you believe that the
Holy shit. He's like, so are you, Hassan? When literally 20 seconds earlier, he said to Hassan, wow, I noticed you didn't do any of the hacky things that were in that video. You probably thought they were too hacky. And then afterwards, he's like, yeah, you're hacky too. Oh my god. He's actually so dumb.
likes were botted on that.
The audio's cutting out? My audio or the video audio? I'll check my settings.
What?
You had said you thought the likes were botted
Test
on
1
the
2 test.
content cop. Do you still believe that?
What? The likes were botted on the content cop?
The
I don't- I have
dislikes
no
were
idea.
botted. The dislikes, sorry. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted, and it was unnatural. The dislikes on the video.
I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I'm asking.
I
I
don't
don't
recall
care if
saying this, but I don't know why
You
this is a
did say
major
it.
point of contention. All right, so you asked that
no,
question. Let's
no,
get back
no.
to some other definitions.
Hold on, let me finish, and then you can do your definition.
Okay.
Did you think it
Well,
was?
it's not my definition. I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer how you like. Do you?
I hope you know that, like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't publish the content cop. iDubbbz did.
Yes, I know that, and I've addressed
Okay,
him
good.
thoroughly.
All right,
do you know that? Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
All right, guys.
I'm a little confused.
I need to check and make sure my audio is good. I don't know how much of the background noise is picking up. Let's see. Maybe it's because a car was just driving past. Audio is cutting out. Stop listening to the audio. No audio is cutting out. No video. No video though. Jesus Christ. Fuck you guys. Ethan's acting so fucking unhinged here. But I'd rather have Ethan acting unhinged than some kind of weird, like, oh, it was my dog, but you took control of it, and now I feel bad. Is my dog eating enough? Hey, when you left a year ago, you didn't seem to care about how the dog was eating. Fucking crazy. I'd rather take Ethan just being a weirdo than that kind of awkward shit.
You asked that question.
No. Sorry. Yeah, you believe that the
that's
likes
fine.
were botted on that.
What?
You had said you thought the likes were botted on the content cop. Do you still believe that?
First of all, insane that he's asking him this. Once again, what is the point of this debate? Is it just Ethan to, like, get all of his grievances out? Ethan had a list of questions to ask Sam Cedar. They were all Hassan. Did Ethan write this down? Oh, I'm gonna hold Hassan's feet to the fire. And he writes down a list of things that he wants to bring up. And one of those things is ask him about the likes being botted on the content cop. Of course they're botted. Every video has bots that like it or dislike it. Even if they're not, who gives a fuck?
What? The likes were botted on the content cop?
The
I have
dislikes
no
were
idea.
botted. The dislikes, sorry. Yeah, you said it was brigaded and was botted, and it was unnatural. The dislikes on the video.
I don't really care about this. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I'm asking.
I
I
don't
don't care
recall
if-
saying this, but I don't know why
You
this
did
is a
say
major
it.
point of contention. All right, so you asked that question. Let's get back to some other definitions.
Hold on, let me finish, and then you can do your definition.
Okay.
Did you think it was?
Well, it's not my definition. I want to hear your definition.
That's fine. I'll answer how you like. Do you?
I hope you know that, like, you know, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't publish the content cop. iDubbbz did.
Yes, I know that, and I've addressed
Okay,
him
good.
thoroughly.
All right,
do you know that? Do you believe he should have included the context of the CPS call?
Holy fuck, dude! He's asking Hassan to do like critiques of the Content Cop video. Actually insane, dude. Huh? Yeah. What do you mean? Why?
What?
What? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Wait.
What? What's up? You're not on video. It's facing me. See? On video. What's up? Oh, sit there. All right, let's continue this.
I'm a little confused. You are asking me
Yes.
what my opinion is
On the video.
iDubbbz's content comp.
Correct. That's correct.
About the CPS. I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think it was more so about like your year-long conquest of deplatforming and also
Right. Well, 90% of the clips were from the episode entitled CPS Came to My House, Hassan. I don't know if you think...
Bro, the fact that they're like, iDubbbz didn't bring up the fact that CPS was called on us is so stupid, because they never accused iDubbbz of making CPS being called. The only reason they're bringing up CPS at all is because they're trying to say that we just said these things about iDubbbz because we were feeling angry and we needed someone to lash out at. Okay, so then that would, the context of adding CPS would make you look even worse, because it would make you seem unhinged and you were trying to just attack people because you were feeling shitty in your lives. Like, it's not a good thing to bring up that CPS was called. It's actually irrelevant.
That's an important detail. I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I've made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call
No.
CPS.
That's obvious.
I'm
saying your friend Hassan you made a video with did a total fucking hit job. All right, go ahead. Ask me a question. No, if you think that's an important detail, I sure do.
Ethan, I think you know my position on this, as I've made it very clear. I think it's completely inappropriate to fucking call
No.
CPS.
That's obvious. I'm
completely
saying
inappropriate
your
to call
friend
CPS
Hassan
on
you
a
made a
content
video
creator you don't
with
like.
did
I
a
don't know
total
why you're-
fucking
I don't know
hit
why you
job.
think I have
All right, go
any
ahead.
hand
Ask me a
in this.
question.
I don't have any, like...
Go
dude,
ahead.
Listen to me. Listen, we're both content creators online. We both have received an endless wave of harassment.
Bro, guys, just remember that Ethan Klein sent in his email to Sam Cedar asking him to do a conversation, that I've received a lot of hate and the CPS was even called on my house. He sent that in an email to Sam Cedar. Like, he's just out to get pity points. I actually can't get over that he said that to Sam. Like, he would give a fuck about it. He's like, okay, yeah, that's not good. So?
You and I have talked privately about
Hassan,
this.
I don't care. Let's just go on.
What do you mean? You brought this up. You brought it up. Hold on.
I know what you're saying. We've all been harassed. The internet is tough. Whatever, yada yada. Ask me a question.
No. Please, Ethan, please.
Because you're so boring, bro. I just want to have an interesting conversation.
You know who else also told me that? Andrew Tate. Please, just hold on.
Wow, God forbid.
Explain my position to you. You and I are both content creators. We get an endless wave of harassment, doxing, swatting, all of this stuff, okay? Sometimes by the same people, ironically enough, by the same communities. You and I know we've had these conversations in private before we, stop doing our podcast. And you know my position on this. I think it's completely unacceptable.
I know you're against
I am
CPS.
victim to the same exact things that happened to you in this regard. I would never in a million years advocate for that sort of thing, and don't think it's appropriate.
Very good.
And I don't know why you think that I have anything to do with this.
Because you're not you're misrepresenting what I asked you. I didn't ask you, do you think it's okay that people called CPS? I asked that the video that you participated in, which was a total fucking hit job that used 90% of its clip from an episode of the podcast called CPS Got Called on Me and didn't even include the title of the podcast. Now, do you think that's fair?
I think you should take this up with iDubbbz instead of me.
Okay, sure. Ask me a question.
Yeah, I didn't make any of the editorial decisions in
I'm try-
iDubbbz's content cop.
I'm asking what you thought about it, okay? Not if you made it. It's pretty fucking pretty obvious. Go ahead, ask me a question.
I'm sure it would have been. I'm sure that I'm sure that it would have been all right if he mentioned it.
It would have been all right.
I don't know why this is a major point of contention for you. I thought we were going to talk about Israel-Palestine.
We're talking about whatever we want to talk about. You had said that I have problems with your character. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, ask me a question.
But you having problems with my character.
Hassan, ask me a question. I'm going to move on to the next topic.
From you asking me about iDubbbz's editorial decisions in his content cop.
I'm asking about your opinion on it. Go ahead, ask me a question.
Okay. So, do you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Wow.
Awesome.
Whoa.
So you agree with
That's actually big. Because, like, literally 2 weeks ago, he said, no, I don't think it's doing a genocide. Or he said, I think it even could be a genocide if... And then his wife texted him and is like, Ethan, shut the fuck up. Why are you talking about Israel doing a genocide? That's not smart for you to do. Wow, Ethan said that it actually is doing a genocide. Okay, so let's just draw this out to its logical conclusion. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, he was talking to Sam Cedar, and he said Hamas could end the war at any point. So how could Israel be doing a genocide, and Hamas could end that war at any point? I mean, he just lied to Hassan. He doesn't actually... Obviously, he doesn't actually think that. But it will be interesting going forward if Hassan really holds him to that idea. If Hassan really holds his feet to the fire and is like, okay, well, you said Israel's doing a genocide right now, so how can you square that with blaming Hamas for Israel's actions?
With numerous human rights organizations, the UN.
I already said yes.
Okay, great. No, that's important. Thank you for saying that. I also agree on this. If you believe that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza, okay, do you feel like you have used your limited amount of time that you have as a content creator speaking out against Israel doing a genocide on...
Let's just be honest about this. Ethan hasn't spoken about what's happening in Gaza once. And the only time he actually brought up anything negative happening in Gaza is when he was talking about the AI video that Trump put out of a colonized Gaza. That's the only time he brought it up.
On the Palestinian population living in the Gaza Strip? Or do you feel like most of your commentary on that issue has overwhelmingly been to rail against people that are doing that?
Sure.
Pro-Palestinian advocates that you feel like you've been wronged by, myself included.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but if you're pro-Palestine, it doesn't absolve you of criticism. That's something that you guys keep...
Holy shit, he's so fucking stupid. He's so dumb. He's so dumb. Hassan's like, okay, well, you say Israel's doing a genocide, right? Do you think you spent an appropriate amount of time talking about that versus attacking people that are talking about it? Ethan immediately says, well, I can attack you. That's not what Hassan said. Hassan never said you can't attack people that are talking about the genocide happening. But do you think you've spent an appropriate amount of time talking about the genocide as compared to attacking people talking about the genocide? And then obviously Ethan has no response to that because he's completely in the wrong when it comes to your effective output, right? Ethan's effective output is, what Israel's doing in Gaza is bad, but it's really the fault of Hamas, and it's really the fault of people that are too supportive of Palestinians. It's really the fault of these people, and actually let's attack these people. That's his effective output. Hassan calls him out on that, and Ethan can't defend his effective output, so instead he goes on the attack and is like, well, you realize you can be criticized, right, Hassan? Just because there's a genocide going on doesn't mean I can't criticize you. And Hassan's like, you can criticize me, but have you talked at all about what's happening in Gaza? And the answer is no, he hasn't.
Do I think my coverage...
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that is the case.
Okay. Do you think my coverage has been like totally balanced? I would say no. I've obviously given less time to the Palestinian perspective, and I think the reason for that is simply that...
No, not just the Palestinian perspective, Ethan. I think that rather than talking about that issue in and of itself, rather than talking about the genocide itself, every time you have...
Hassan, I'm answering your question.
Every time you've talked about Israel-Palestine, it almost always revolved around
I was going to tell you why. Do you want to let me answer?
personal vendettas that you have experienced
I was
from
going to explain
pro-Palestinian
that.
content creators.
Okay. Would you like me to? You asked me a question, so I'm going to answer
Yeah.
it. The reason
Go
for
ahead.
that being is that I feel like I'm responding to a lot of bullshit that's been passed my way ever since Leftovers ended, starting from you and your community.
Yeah. Okay. So Ethan's admitting it. It's like, no, I haven't spent an appropriate amount of time covering this as opposed to attacking the people that are criticizing me. But you don't understand, Hassan, because I have been criticized before. So actually, I'm completely in the right to just go after these people and not cover anything. I mean, they're talking about the genocide and highlighting the actions of Israel and how horrible the actions of Israel are, and also the actions of Israeli propagandists and how they're wrong. I happen to be one of those Israeli propagandists, and I'm getting criticized, and I don't like that, Hassan.
Now, that's my answer to that. Now, let me ask you about this. This sword has a Nazi swastika hilt.
Okay.
Do you disagree? What's funny about that?
I think it's funny because you've made this a major point of contention. That's why I think it's funny.
It's a swastika, is it not?
Yeah, it's a sword that is a bleach sword, as you know already, that has a hilt that has a Japanese manji sign on it. But yes, it does look like a swastika, as I've also noticed and have talked about on numerous occasions that you brought forward.
Yeah, of course you're conceding that because we fished this up, but yeah.
Such as when I made fun of, I believe it was Alexa that grabbed it, and I said, "Oh, you immediately go over the swastika one." Yeah, exactly. Do you think?
Anyway, my point is, Hassan, if I can continue my point, is that you knew it was a swastika sword. So why did you guys choose to pose with this sword?
Ethan?
Answer that. Why?
I love how he says, why did you guys choose to pose with the sword when Hassan's not even in the room? He's not even in the room in that picture.
Was the choice made for this sword?
I'm gonna gently explain this to you again. One, it's not a swastika, but regardless.
Do you think it looks like a swastika?
I did not make this editorial decision. I wasn't even.
Do you think it's reasonable?
So what I love about this is Ethan brings up the example of Hassan making a joke about Alexa picking up the sword. Oh, immediately goes for the swastika one. And what he doesn't realize is Alexa making that joke Hassan making that joke about Alexa completely undermines Ethan's argument. Ethan's argument is Hassan realizes this is a swastika, and when he uses it or when iDubbbz uses it, they're actually Nazi dog whistling, basically saying that no, they actually are Nazis, they actually share the ideology of Nazis, and having a swastika sword from Bleach, mind you, is a dog whistle to their fans, where it's like, oh, look at this sword, I'm actually a Nazi. That's what having the sword means. Now, in reality, it's a dog whistle that I'm an anime nerd, right? It's like a subtle piece of your subtle piece of the way you present yourself, and it's an anime sword. It's like, I'm an anime nerd. That's what the dog whistle is. And Hassan makes a joke saying that, oh, immediately goes for the Nazi sword. That's making a joke about it. That's saying that, oh yeah, it's a Nazi sword, but of course you don't actually believe that you're a Nazi, right? He's like, oh, haha, you're not a Nazi, but you're picking up a sword that has a swastika on it, saying that you're not a Nazi, but you're saying something that obviously you're picking something up that I'm joking about represents something that you quite obviously don't believe in. That's the joke that Hassan's making there. But Ethan's like, no, you actually do believe that it's a Nazi sword, and it is a dog whistle for your true beliefs, which are Nazi fascist beliefs. Also, Yeet the Rich, thank you for becoming a channel member. If you too want to become a channel member, help me pay my editors, and have your name be pretty in green, please consider joining the channel for just 99 cents a month.
Reasonable to perceive that as a swastika?
Ethan,
answer the question. Is it reasonable to perceive that?
I don't think it was a deliberate decision that iDubbbz made, but I don't know. I don't know his mind.
Hassan, they're your swords, and according to the New York Times article, there was 10 options. So what's the chances that they chose the swastika one? That seems pretty slim.
Bro, once again, this is insane. Let's say it is a Nazi sword. Let's say it's a literal Nazi sword that a Nazi had. Okay? When Ethan says you've had 10 swords, doesn't that mean that Hassan's not a Nazi because he didn't just have one Nazi sword? He had a diverse array of swords. Maybe he just likes swords. Okay? So once again, you're criticizing Hassan for something that you're claiming iDubbbz did, but you can't criticize iDubbbz for it because it's Hassan's sword, so you're going to criticize Hassan. But then to bolster that argument, your argument completely falls apart.
Well,
You have 10
considering
swords,
that I
don't
had
you?
The week prior to that, I believe. I don't know the exact timeline. I don't really remember when they shot this, but I had the sword out because I was doing an Assassin's Creed promo. Do you feel like if I thought it was like genuinely a swastika sword, I would use it in an Assassin's Creed promo shot?
Yes.
Okay, Ethan. Okay. So he's saying if it was a swastika sword, I mean, he's basically just being like, no, it's a Nazi sword, and if you use it, then you're dog whistling that you're a Nazi. Even though the clip he played of Hassan saying, oh, you went to the swastika sword, that's obviously undermines that point because he's making a joke that Alexa isn't a Nazi. But, oh, look at that, you have a sword that says you're a Nazi. Anyway, it's just hilarious. So he's basically saying Hassan has a Nazi sword, and then what? That is a reflection of his beliefs. Once again, why don't you just talk about his beliefs? If you're saying it's a dog whistle, you're saying that that's a reflection of Hassan's beliefs. Just criticize his beliefs then.
That's what we call a dog whistle, Hassan. And what you're doing is gaslighting somebody. You made a video. Let me make a point here, Hassan, because you're the king of microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minority groups.
True.
Right? So you made a video. You participated in a video accusing a Jewish. Let me finish my point, Hassan. No. Stop. You are making a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism while exhibiting the most hateful symbol.
What? That's not what iDubbbz was doing. He's just saying you're a shitty person. You're like a shitty friend and you operate in a shitty way online. iDubbbz didn't really say anything about how you exaggerate anti-Semitism. The only thing he really said is when Klein was talking about how Anissa wasn't defending her, iDubbbz is like, yeah, we're not going to defend you because you've been doing Israeli propaganda and saying some fucked up things. That's the only thing that he mentioned that was close to anything where they're like, oh, it's anti-Semitism if you criticize us.
Against Jewish people. Do you not see this as a problem? Or at least,
Ethan,
am I insane for thinking this is odd?
Ethan, take a deep breath.
Answer the question. I don't need you to console me.
I didn't even hear your question.
I don't need you to console me. I've got 5 people on staff. That's their job, Hassan.
I need you to.
Well, you should try listening instead of speaking.
I'm just looking for clarification here. Do you think that I deliberately was using a dog whistle in an Assassin's Creed promo, or that it was a cool sword that was laying around because it's the only long sword that I have?
You have 10 swords.
I know, they're heavy. That's not a real sword.
So yes, I'm aware that it's not a real sword, but you had 10 to choose from. What does it matter how much they weigh?
Yeah, the other ones are heavy.
Let me paint a scenario. Hassan, let me paint a scenario for you, okay?
All right, scenario time.
Okay, this is important.
Ethan going into his artful mode. I'm going to paint something for you, Hassan. Sit back as I paint.
You participated in a video accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism. You exhibited...
Bro, what the fuck? Is that anything that happened in that Content Cop? Did I just completely block it out of my mind? Content Cop, H3. Accusing a Jewish man of exaggerating anti-Semitism. Okay, I'm just going to Control F anti-Semitism on the transcript. Show transcript. Control F I'm a vicious anti-Semite. Okay, here we go.
Out of context. Everything was correct. I am an Islamist, fundamentalist, radical terrorist. I am a vicious anti-Semite.
Okay, well, I mean, in this case, Hassan's literally making fun of Ethan, calling him an anti-Semite. And Ethan, to his credit, in the reaction said, okay, well, I don't think I've ever actually called Hassan anti-Semitic. I said that he fosters anti-Semitism. So even in this case, this would be an example of Ethan exaggerating calling someone an anti-Semitism or an anti-Semite. Okay. Anti. Let's just keep searching anti. Okay, here we go. It's like this guy's evil and he's doing anti-Semitism.
But I don't like this tweet. It's stupid. It's not a fucking petty beef. It's like this guy is evil and he's doing anti-Semitism.
Okay, so talking about Hasan Piker.
Also, he's way out of my weight class.
He didn't like
That he wasn't saying that. Once again, this isn't IDub saying that Ethan is exaggerating anti-Semitism. He's just saying that Ethan didn't like me making a joke about it. I'm a vicious anti-Semite. So it's only these two examples. Oh wait, no. Here we go. Dan Clancy, anti-Semite. And if you're harassment, anti-racist. Probably
ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism.
This is literally Ian saying that anti-Semitism is valid.
The worst thing in the world, right? We fucking hate racists. Fuck racists.
Microaggressions.
The minute that they actually have to stick their neck out for somebody, the minute they have to actually risk something to put themselves in under scrutiny, to sacrifice something personally to stand up for racism, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't want to get involved.
And that's drama.
How much do you care?
I don't do drama.
How much
Sorry.
do you actually?
Okay, well, they were talking about... What were they talking about? They were talking about how they were getting criticized for being bad parents and how Ian and Anissa wouldn't stand up for them.
Care if you're, isn't that the whole point? Like,
I realize that Ethan and Hila are more scared now than they've probably ever been. I feel like anti-Semitism is a thought in their heads now more than ever. And it's not completely unjustified to be thinking about that sometimes. You guys are just hurt and you're kind of like dancing around and making very like loose, poorly thought out analogies for something that doesn't even apply to us. It's like me making this video is the standing up for something and it's saying, fuck you, you guys are being bad. You know, I don't think you're bad people, but you're being bad. You're behaving poorly. You're hurting people.
I mean, go back to the civil rights. You think that the people who are like the white kids who are protesting with the black students, you think that they were just like not risking anything? Those kids who are marching with the black students and...
So in Ethan's analogy, he's the black student and I'm the white student, but I'm the white student that's not, you know, marching by his side. I'm not...
Okay, whatever. Who cares? So the whole point of the Content Cop video wasn't to make Ethan out to be a shitty person and have shitty behaviors online, but it was actually to minimize the anti-Semitism that he's experienced. And then he has a conversation with Sam Cedar 2 days ago, and Sam's like, yeah, that's not anti-Semitism. I don't know what you're talking about.
In that video, the most hateful symbol against Jewish people. 1 out of 10 of your swords that you have previously already stated you know is the, quote, swastika sword. So am I insane for even... You're treating me like I'm insane for bringing this up, but it sounds pretty reasonable.
I mean, it's a little insane.
So
yes.
yeah, microaggressions just don't exist for Jewish people.
You're asking me why iDubbbz.
It's your sword, bro. I don't believe that you weren't there.
I'm not iDubbbz.
You were there, bro. It's in your fucking house.
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me.
Because it's your house and your sword.
But I also gave you what my speculation is, and that is that
it was just a
most
cosmic
likely
chance.
Because I had previously had it laying around because I had just done an Assassin's Creed promo.
Okay, if you say so. So if it's a cosmic fluke, which you claim, then why leave the photo up?
I'm not even in the photo. I don't.
I know
right?
it's in your room though, and with your sword. Why leave the photo up?
Why leave the photo up? Okay, I almost want to skip through this part where he's talking about the Content Cop, but because all of this is, oh my god, guys, is this really the entire thing? The sword, Sabra tier list, Theo Vaughn. Okay, how Hassan thinks Ethan works with the ADL. Bad Empanada actually had a pretty good video on that, where basically Ethan's like, yeah, Frogan only got banned off of Twitch when the ADL stepped in. And Ethan brought a ton of attention to Twitch, which is why the ADL stepped in. And Ethan even took credit for that. And he's like, Yeah, I got Frogan banned. Okay, so you're kind of admitting that you're at least aligned with the ADL. Discussing Hassan's R denial. Holy fucking shit. Discussing Hezbollah, Hassan sourcing and promoting snark. Oh my god. Bad empanada. Okay, I'm spoiling.
Wait, why are you asking me this question? I don't know. I'm not. Ethan?
I'm sorry,
I am
Hassan.
not
Are you
IDubbbz.
unable to make value judgments on situations? Like, isn't that what you do for a living? Do you think that IDubbbz should have removed?
I don't think it's relevant or that big of a deal at all. If that's what you're trying to get out of me, like, yeah, I think it's not.
Okay, so you're
it's
telling
what
a
you
Jewish
are
man who's
perceiving.
complaining about a very
And
odd
also,
coincidence that I'm crazy and I'm exaggerating.
Once again, Ethan, if it's a swastika, you don't need to make the qualification that you're a Jewish person. You can just say you shouldn't be having a swastika up there. The whole point of why you wouldn't talk to Sam Cedar is because you're like, what does it matter if he's Jewish or not? Okay, so you can leave your Jewishness out of this, dude. It should be irrelevant, right? I mean, white people can care about swastikas. Brown people can care about swastikas. Jewish people are white and brown people. Anyone can care about swastikas. Fascism's a dangerous ideology for everyone. Everyone is a victim in fascism.
Gianna, Ethan, can we? Okay, you got me. All right, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you got
Listen
me.
to
I put a swastika in the video calling you out for exaggerating
No.
it.
Bro! Oh my god, it wasn't Hassan's video. He didn't edit it. He didn't pose with the sword. He didn't post the picture. What is happening? Talk to Ian. Holy shit, dude.
Well, that's not what I'm
Anti-Semitism.
saying.
You
I
got
didn't
me.
do that.
Yes, you did. You
Ethan,
literally
Ethan,
did.
I didn't do
And
that.
it's literally an
Okay,
anime
talk
sword.
about it. Go on.
It's not a swastika. And
Then
I
why
don't
should you
even
leave
think
it up?
you have that much of an issue with swastikas, considering you drew one on PewDiePie.
I'm a Jewish man. You fuck.
Okay, it's your chat that was calling Sam Cedar a capo in your conversation with him, dude. You're saying that Jewish people can't be anti-Semitic? Come on, Ethan. Holy shit, dude, he loves to play identity politics.
Fucking moron.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Is
the
anyone in
Nazis
that
only
room
killed
Jewish?
Jews. Is
Was
that
anyone
what
in that
happened?
room?
What? Now he's asking if anyone there was Jewish? What the fuck is he on about?
Did I draw
Do the Nazis only
swastika
kill
one
Jews
time
even?
on?
Do you think that Jews have an exclusivity agreement with, like?
Although this is the guy that also sig hailed to mimic Elon Musk and said, oh, it's okay, guys, I'm Jewish.
Being offended or not offended by Nazi imagery? You've done a sig heil approximately what, 50 times?
Why did I do a sig heil? Why did I do a sig heil?
I don't know.
Because you only watch clips on Twitter. I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, as a Jewish man, are you going to tell?
Wait, Ethan's actually justifying it. Just say I was doing it to be dumb. But he's like, no, I actually had to go through the motions of sig hailing to see if Elon Musk actually did that or not.
I don't know.
Because you only watch clips on Twitter. I was making fun of Elon Musk and trying to see if it was valid or not.
Oh, thank you.
And by the way, as a Jewish man, are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word?
Wait, what?
Are you going to tell black people not to use the N-word because it offends you?
Bro, that's insane. Ethan's actually doing Holocaust revisionism right now. 17 million people died in the Holocaust. 6 million of them were Jews. That means 11 million weren't Jews. And he's acting like only Jewish people can be offended by Nazis? What the fuck is he on about? That's insane to say. No, the N-word, which is ironic because Ethan also says the N-word. The N-word is specific. I mean, it's specific to basically African Americans. That's why other people that aren't African American shouldn't say the N-word, because it's been used as a word to denigrate African Americans. Swastikas and Nazi fascist ideology hurt everyone. That's why it's like, no, one group of people shouldn't have a monopoly on using it, where you can use swastikas and sig hail and be fascist and be like, well, my group of people were impacted, so why do you care about it?
Do you think this is an apt comparison?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually crazy.
So you think that being able to draw the your anti-Semitism radar is completely out of whack.
And who are you to say that to me? You posed with a swastika.
Bro, Ethan, Hassan didn't pose with a swastika, unless you're talking about when he bought the sword, which is he did have it on stream. You literally sig-hailed on your chat. Oh, I did it as a joke, okay? I only sig-hailed as a joke or to make sure that it actually was a sig-hail. Motherfucker, how stupid are you? What are we doing right now?
You're saying that it's not a swastika, and you know it's not a swastika.
I mean, it literally is a swastika.
No, it's not.
Let me
Is
see the
it?
swords in your background. Why didn't you?
I don't think it is a swastika. I mean, hold on, let's look this up. Bleach sword. Bleach sword. Also, it's not even like the cool one that's big. Okay. Here it is. Here's the bleach sword. Guys, look away. I'm gonna search what a swastika looks like. Swastika. Okay, so up. Well, I guess it is in the same direction, but I mean, the image, the actual angle of everything isn't the same. I mean, it's not the square. It's not the perfect 4 pattern repeating over and over again. So, I mean, if you want to get really technical about it, it's not. But according to Ethan, it's a Nazi dog whistle, not a weeb dog whistle.
Choose one of those ones.
I didn't choose the sword, Ethan.
I don't believe you.
Do you think this is a productive use of our time?
Absolutely. So anyway, you say it's a weird cosmic flute. Personally, if I think it was a weird cosmic flute, you say basically it's not a swastika. The difference between the Hindu symbol and
But it's not.
Okay, right. The difference between the Hindu symbol
What
and
you
the
draw on
Nazi
PewDiePie,
swastika.
on the other hand, was a swastika.
I'll finish what I.
The ironic thing about this is, like, obviously, why is the swastika bad? Because a group of people use it as a symbol for their group, and they did horrible things with it. Well, by that logic, you can say that a blue Star of David is also a symbol for hatred and should not be used. It's been literally branded onto Palestinians. They've shaved it into the heads of Palestinian prisoners. Israeli bulldozers have scarred the very earth of Gaza, or Israeli tanks have, by carving the Star of David into the earth of Palestine. So yeah, the blue Star of David, which represents Israel, by that logic, can also be called a symbol for hatred and shouldn't be promoted by people. And guess what Ela Klein got tattooed onto her arm, which Ethan doesn't give a fuck about.
Said. Yeah, I'm a Jewish man. I depicted a swastika.
Cool. Oh, it's supposed to be a manji?
On IDubbbz shirt 10 years ago. You said this is the swastika sword, and you keep it in your house, and you use it and pose it in photos, attacking a Jewish man. The fact
it's actually kind of sick that Ethan, like, obviously, Jews, people hear the Holocaust, they hear Nazi Germany, and they associate it with Jews immediately. But if you do any kind of research on it, you would know that the Nazis were white supremacists. They believed that they were the master race, and Hitler scapegoated Jews in Germany, but that doesn't mean that they only thought Jews were inferior to them. They thought so many different groups of people were inferior to them, and they genocided those groups of people as well. Like the Roma, the Soviets, the Polish. Apparently they treated the French way worse than they did to the English because they thought that, or I think I might be getting this the opposite. I think they were treating, it was either the English or the French. They treated one, I think it was like, fuck, what was it? They treated one group way worse because they're like, you're not anti-Semitic enough, so we're going to treat you worse than the French.
that you can't even concede that looks
referred
bad.
to it as looking like a swastika when my friend picked it up.
So
if I genuinely thought it was a swastika memorabilia, do you think I would keep it in my house?
Dude, you're being so obtuse. I know it's not a swastika, right? And I know you know it's not a swastika, but it is literally a swastika also. Because the difference between a swastika and that Hindu symbol is this. You see what I'm doing? This is the difference. If you ask a Hindu person, would they walk around with a swastika sign?
Wait, so you know it?
Fuck
so you
no,
know
they know that looks like a swastika.
A swastika sword. So I'm a little confused.
Ask your Hindu friends if they would walk around with like a swastika brandished. They know.
Okay.
Are you Hindu?
I am not Hindu.
Okay, interesting.
No.
So anyway, it was a cosmic fluke.
Do you think
brandished
that
what
only,
I.
Do you think that only Hindu people have bleach swords? Like, what's going on?
We're discussing this.
That broke Ethan's brain.
Have bleach swords? Like, what's going on?
We're discussing the symbol, not the sword. Okay, go.
It's it's the hilt of the sword. You're talking about the sword. What is happening, bro?
Go ahead. So you think it was a cosmic fluke? There was 10 swords. He magically picked that one.
I can't. Again, I'm
And
speculating
he
on
lifted
the
up.
decision making
If
of
it was a
person
mistake, he could have
who I
deleted
am
it.
not, I'm not him.
Go ahead.
I
ask
don't
me-
know. Again, I'm going to repeat myself here. I think I'm doing.
You
this
don't
a
need
lot.
to. Go ahead.
I am not.
Ask me the next
iDubbbz.
question.
I don't know what was going on.
I'm not
in his
accusing you of being
mind.
iDubbbz, Hassan, but you're acting like you're incapable of making value judgments on things because you're not
No, because
iDubbbz.
Okay, so do you want him to make a value judgment on iDubbbz's picture, or are you going to say that you, Hassan, were posing with the swastika sword? What are we doing here? A minute ago you said, no, you posed with the swastika sword. Now you're saying, I am asking you to make value judgments on iDubbbz? Are you criticizing iDubbbz and you want Hassan's opinion? Or are you criticizing Hassan?
Already made the value judgment. I think you're being crazy.
Okay, well, Mr. Microaggressions thinks I'm being crazy. Very good. You have no problem telling Jewish people they're being crazy on what...
Yes.
Guys, if anyone criticizes me, you're being anti-white, okay? If anyone criticizes me, then I guess you have no problems being racist towards white people. Or racist towards people with blue eyes. Like, I've seen that one blue eye experiment where they discriminate against people with blue eyes. I think if you criticize me, you are being discriminatory against people with blue eyes. How dare you be racist against blue-eyed white people?
It's like a blatant fuck... Go ahead, ask me the next question.
Yes, I don't.
Do you think
I don't have a
if
problem
you could go
telling
back...
you're being crazy right now. You being Jewish has nothing to do with this.
Sure. I'm sure it doesn't.
Bro, I actually like how this debate shaped up in terms of its dynamics, where it's just Ethan like spazzing out and then Hassan just be like, what? Why are you being a weirdo? And then Ethan like crying anti-Semitism for probably about 100 times in this video.
Do you think going back that it was a mistake to use that sword?
I don't really care about this at all.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that really shows where you're...
Hassan picking up a debate tactic from Sam Cedar. I don't care. It's not interesting. I don't care.
You're out on this. Go ahead and ask me a question.
Okay. So, since you believe that Israel is committing a genocide, what are the appropriate steps that people can take?
Hassan, I'm going to answer that question, but first I need to talk to you about your glasses. Are they or are they not fake? There's been a lot of allegations. Actually, Hassan, I see that your room is very spick and span. Do you have a housekeeper, and is her name Maria? Like, come on, Hassan, bring her out. Show us your housekeeper. Like, I think that this is a really important question to talk about, but first, I need to talk about why you don't shave your armpits. I mean, come on, Hassan. It was your Twitter profile picture for a year. Those things were looking pretty hairy.
Both in the Western world and also regional actors can take against this entity doing a genocide by your own admission that you would consider to be appropriate, because it feels like throughout this entire process, you have set boundaries on what you think
just
is
killing civilians. That's the boundary.
As you have set boundaries.
Just killing civilians, but they can bomb hospitals. And actually, Israel was justified in doing a little bit of. They were justified in doing a little bit of genocide, right? That's what Ethan said in his conversation with Sam. Well, I think they should have responded, but then started the peace process like 3 months in rather than 17 months in. I mean, they're not starting the peace process, but okay. According to Ethan, it's I'm against all killing of civilians, even though he's advocated for the killing of settlers. He said that they're valid military targets.
What you think is inappropriate,
killing civilians,
time and time again has said is outright anti-Semitic.
My boundary is killing civilians.
Okay, that's great. So
is that unreasonable?
That's a perfectly reasonable boundary to set.
Okay, good. So
I
then
totally
we don't
agree
disagree
with you on that. Great. Okay.
Zachary, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Why does Hassan have a pirate rug if he's not pro-pirate?
So let me ask you the next one. Let me ask you about this Tabra tier list.
I have a...
Also, if you notice the the left eye on the pirate flag is a cross. The cross has been a symbol used by Christians, and Christians can be very anti-Semitic. So that's actually an anti-Semitic dog whistle that Hassan has sitting behind him.
Let me finish.
Well, you asked and I answered. Go ahead. You could go on a little bit more.
Okay, so hold on. Everyone is complaining about my volume on my side because we're using Zoom instead of Discord. So my
Ethan's like, why don't you get a fucking producer, you socialist scum?
Go ahead.
Audio.
It's fine. Take your time to get the
my
audio.
audio
right.
keeps going up and down. Okay. So one of the first conversations that we had, you and I had, that led to the Leftovers podcast ending, was that you considered "From the River to the Sea, Palestine will be free" to be an anti-Semitic slogan. You said that Jews feel like this is an exterminationist slogan and Jews fear this slogan in the United States of America.
Correct.
If you think that Israel's doing a genocide, do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment. I'm just trying. All I was trying to do.
Question is what's happening right now.
Bro, do you want me to answer?
Ethan, I'm not making a value judgment. Why aren't you making a value judgment?
Use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not.
Wait, what? Did Ethan just ask if someone should be jailed for free speech? Did he just call that an extreme question? Did I get that right? Hassan asking, should someone go to jail for protesting? And Ethan's like, whoa, that's a really extreme question. I'm not going to make any value judgments here. Holy fuck.
Do you feel like it is appropriate for Westerners in the United States of America and Palestinians and people of Palestinian descent to be able to use emancipatory slogans, or should they go to jail under the Trump administration?
Wait, Hassan just said, can people use slogans, or should they go to jail? And Ethan calls that an extreme question. All right, man. I mean, this guy's just fascist. If he's actually going to sit there and not only argue that people shouldn't be using these slogans, but actually be willing to argue that they should go to jail for using these slogans, then he's just a fascist. That there's no dancing around that, dude. If you're a liberal, if you're ostensibly a liberal, but you're like, I don't like it when people protest for things, they should go to jail underneath this fascist regime that we're living under, then you support the fascist regime.
Okay, I mean, these are pretty extreme questions. Now, I'm not making a value judgment.
New iDubbbz dropped? Wait, I thought that was a joke. Someone's like, iDubbbz made a content deputy. I thought they were just joking about that. All right, I'll check that.
I'm just trying. All I was trying to do.
The question is what's happening right now.
Bro, do you want me to answer?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. I'm not trying to make a.
Dude, shut the fuck up, Ethan. Sam Cedar's like, I don't think I can talk for all Jews. I don't think anyone can. And Ethan's like, let me try to. Now he's gonna sit there and be like, I'm trying to explain the Jewish perspective. Take ownership, bro. Just say you're explaining your perspective. Oh my god. You criticize Hassan, and you make jokes being like, Hassan says he represents the movement. Hassan is the movement. But then you're willing to sit there and be like, I speak for all Jews. I am Ethan Klein, and I speak for the Jews. He's like the Jewish Lorax. Or not the Jewish Lorax, like the Zionist Lorax.
Value judgment of it. But what I will tell you is that, how do you feel about Norm Finkelstein?
Love Norm. I know he has said that it
Here's what he had to say about this.
I know what he said.
No. I want the audience to see this, Hassan.
Hold on.
What? Content deputy is a real thing? I thought someone made that into a joke. Wait, is it about Sam Cedar? Is it a content deputy about Sam Cedar? Ethan's wearing a suit. Or maybe it's about Hassan. I don't know. Chat, just let me know. Should I watch this before the Hassan debate or after the Hassan debate?
Video. gotcha moment for you because I know Norm's position.
Good. I'm glad
He's
you
also
know. Let's
transphobic,
let the
but I don't agree
audience
with
know,
that either,
Hassan.
you know what I mean?
Hey, Hassan, let the
He's
audience
still my
watch the
goat.
video.
I can have a nuanced
Watson,
I can
come
have a
here.
nuanced and reasonable disagreement with a person that I actually admire.
So that's what we're having.
Like Norm. But I have
So
a
it's
disagreement with him
nuanced
on
and
that, yes.
understandable with Norm. Let the audience watch the
All right,
video.
hold on,
Hassan.
guys. I gotta
Okay.
get my dog.
Palestine will be free.
I'll
Let
let
me
this
go
play.
back.
Slogan
Make yeah. Here's the Norm Finkelstein, a prominent figurehead in the Palestinian liberation movement.
I don't like the slogan.
I know. I have more
No,
positions that
pardon
I
me.
disagree with him on
The video
this
can
as
play.
well.
Will be free. I think it's a bad slogan. I know the slogan from the 1960s, the 1970s. It was a bad slogan then, and it's a bad slogan now because it has too much ambiguity. When you say from the river
Hassan's gonna hit me with the Cherry Act.
to the sea, Palestine will be free. Obviously, a question arises. Okay, what happens to the Jews in that scenario? And some people will say, well, all it's about is everybody being free, but that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern that it's a bad slogan. And I said, just change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote.
How old is this video, I'm wondering?
Palestinians will be free. And you can't...
By the way, this is a position that Ethan Klein thinks is inherently anti-Semitic. If you say one person, one vote, Ethan will be like, but then the Arabs will outnumber the Jews and they're going to genocide the Jews. That's a position that Ethan Klein holds, okay? So I don't know why he's bringing this up as some kind of defense for his position when it's not a defense. It's actually like an attack on his position. It's calling his position stupid.
Answer that slogan, because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free.
Right, now do the Norm clip where he's talking about October 7th. Like, what the fuck is Ethan doing? Norm Finkelstein disagrees with Ethan on every aspect of Israel and Palestine. And he wants to bring him on because he's like, oh, I know that Hassan likes Norm, but how is he going to react to this?
Well, I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying...
What? Wait, dude. Holy shit. He actually paused it and is like, well, I don't think Norm actually wants equal rights for Palestinians. What the fuck, Ethan? No, dude. No, you're like, no, I don't think Norman Finkelstein that I know disagrees with me on every single point, and the one thing that I tangentially think supports my the one thing Norm has said that I think tangentially supports my position, I actually disagree with him on because he's advocating for equal rights of Palestinians. Holy shit, this man is gone. He is far gone.
But that's not what the slogan says. So I have, in recent weeks, I have voiced my concern that it's a bad slogan. And I said, just change it, tweak it. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And
wait, so he didn't even say you can't say from the river to the sea. All he did was add in one person, one vote, which I honestly agree, it might make it less catchy, but it's a better description of the goal of Palestinian liberation, right? It's a better, I actually agree, it's a better slogan, maybe not in terms of rhetoric, but in terms of actually describing what you want to have happen. I agree with Norm Finkelstein. That is a good slogan to have. Okay. Like, once again, Ethan said, from the river to the sea originated from terrorists, so we shouldn't use it because it's advocating for the extermination of Jews. And Norman Finkelstein isn't saying that at all. He's just like, let's make it even more clear of what we want. And let's actually use the quote that Ethan thinks is a terrorist quote.
You can't answer that slogan because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone. from the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And I've encountered this.
I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that. From the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good.
Bro, one person, one vote. He said that was the main thing he added to the slogan. That was the main thing he added to the slogan. One person, one vote. And you have the gall to bring up the clip and then be like, the one thing he added to the slogan, he doesn't actually mean. You brought the clip up. Why would you bring it up if you didn't think that he meant what he said in the clip? What the fuck?
Equal rights for answer that slogan. Because all you're talking about is equal rights for everyone. From the river to the sea, one person, one vote, Palestinians will be free. And I've encountered this.
I don't know if he actually means the one vote thing, because I think what he's saying is good in that. From the river to the sea, Palestinians will be free, which I think is good. You're laughing at Norm.
Routinely talked at campus encampments, college campus.
Bro, Hassan laughs when Ethan Klein brings up a clip, and instead of thinking he's laughing at Ethan, Ethan's like, "You're laughing at Norm, a Jewish person. What are you, anti-Semitic?"
Palestinian encampments as to, I'm not going to make much hay about the slogan in general. There's plenty of other slogans.
Well, you're willing to listen to him, but when I say it, it becomes a big controversy. I literally,
no,
I'm not. It's not even my opinion.
I can have a disagreement with him on that, and you're forgetting one key factor.
What's that?
Okay, you're forgetting one key factor. Norm Finkelstein still ultimately will always say, while I disagree with the slogan because I think it scares people, it ultimately does not matter, and I'm not going to stand in opposition to it. He doesn't say it's anti-Semitic.
When have I opposed
it? He doesn't say it is extermination.
When have I? You called it a genocidal slogan, and then you brought Lonerbox on, and when AB was like, "Yeah, don't you think it's kind of dumb though that we can't define our enemy as Zionists and we can't have an emancipatory slogan?" You bring on Lonerbox, and Lonerbox is like, "Well, do you know the Arabic version of that? The Arabic version actually says, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be Arab. So checkmate, liberal." Yeah, you've done a lot of rhetoric calling that slogan genocidal. Oh, when have I ever said that we can't use it?
He says
that's what people think.
When have I opposed it?
If you think that Norm Finkelstein would be in agreement with you in any way, shape, or form, on
Ethan calling Ela a terrorist.
Conversation with him,
he's literally in agreement with me, like verbatim.
Okay. No,
actually, even more.
You said it was anti-Semitic. Norm doesn't think it's anti-Semitic.
Hassan, do you remember me advocating against it? Do you remember me advocating against
it? If he agrees with you on anything.
Sure, I'll ask Norm Finkelstein. Do you remember me denouncing that?
You actually should.
And saying people shouldn't say it?
I believe in our conversation.
No, it didn't happen. You're lying.
You said it was anti-Semitic.
All right, fuck this shit. Let's look it up. Boop boop boo. Hasanabi. Where's the search? Ethan Klein. Finally talking to Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein debates Sam Cedar. Ethaniel Klein. Ethan Klein versus Hasan Piker. What about his two-state solution? More. Transcript. I'm just telling you how Jews feel about this. From the river.
I'm reading chat now, by the way.
Okay. All right. You were talking about from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And
so like at worst, the worst interpretation of that would be like someone like Hamas or Hezbollah or like terrorist organizations who are like, yeah, we want to actually kill everybody there. That's the worst interpretation of it. I know that there's a lot of people, obviously, most fast.
Okay, so immediately brings up the interpretation of, well, I'm not saying you shouldn't say it, but what I am saying is that a lot of people think that when people do say it, it means kill all Jews.
Majority of people who do say that don't want to kill all the Jews there, right? But like, so at the best interpretation of it, it basically means, as I've said, this one state dissolution of the state of Israel. And a lot of people also see that. I would say the vast majority of people in Israel see that as a genocide.
Okay, he literally just said the vast majority of Israelis see that as genocidal. And he's like, I'm Israeli. So why would you say something that's genocidal, Ethan? Yeah, this is advocating. This is like Ethan, even though he might not say explicitly, don't say from the river to the sea. He's saying that a lot of people see it as genocidal, so balls in your court, guys.
Of it. It basically means, as I've said, this one state dissolution of the state of Israel. And a lot of people also...
Just once again, see what he does there. He defines Israel as an ethno-state, right? He defines Israel as an ethno-state. He says if there's a one state, that's the dissolution of the state of Israel, and that's genocide. That's genocide against Jewish Israelis. So Ethan thinks if Jewish Israelis can't have an ethno-state, that's genocide against them. And that's why he's been defending the ethno-state of Israel this entire time.
See that. I would say the vast majority of people in Israel see that as a genocide. So that if it's viewed in that scope, there's another interesting thing that I've noticed about this. I mean, the thing is, like, that phrase does have a long history of being used by terrorists. And so, hold on.
Wait, can I say something though? Because like the terrorism designation here. Okay, go ahead. Make your full point.
Let me make my full point here, and then you can respond. There's an interesting phenomenon going on here where when minorities tell you they're offended.
And then he says, so this is what he does. Let's see how he lays this out. He says, from the river to the sea, a lot of people see that as a pro-genocidal statement. And then he says, and when minorities tell you that they feel uncomfortable by something, then isn't it on you, the majority, the oppressing class, isn't it on you, the people that say you fight against oppression, to not do that thing that minorities are saying hurts their feelings? So he's literally like, yeah, he's not explicitly saying don't say from the river to the sea, but he's called it a genocidal. He's called it, sorry guys, a lot of cars driving past. He's called it a genocidal saying. He's called it a genocidal slogan. And if you don't stop saying it, then you're being bigoted towards minorities. So I mean, come on, let's put two and two together here. I don't think we need to listen to this anymore, but yeah, he did advocate for people to not use the phrase. Pretty easy to fact check him on that.
I said it's perceived that way by Jewish people. All right, let's.
Yep, and then he also said, and if you don't stop saying it, then you're being bigoted against Jewish people. So how is that not advocating for people to stop saying it? You're saying if you don't want to be bigoted, stop using that phrase.
Let's move on. The Sabra tier list.
Norm does not believe it's an anti-Semitic
Very
slogan.
good. I'll ask him about it. Now, let me ask you about
Are you actually going to do that? Because that would be wonderful.
Yes, I'm going to talk to Norm.
Productive.
Well,
guys, like, I know, okay, chat, I know iDubbbz made another video on Ethan. I love you for telling me about it. But we have over 4 hours left of this debate. Okay, I'm sorry, we're not watching that today.
We'll have a great conversation about From the River to the Sea.
Is it? Wait, can I ask you a question?
No. It's my turn.
Okay,
you spoke,
go ahead.
and now it's my turn.
You know what? You go ahead.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate that. That's very gracious of you.
Well, I mean, it's just a back and forth conversation, but
Yeah.
you seemingly have a lot of grievances not pertaining to the actual issue at hand. But
I don't know. The issue, my friend, the issue at hand is your behavior.
No, I think the issue at hand is the genocide.
Well, we seem to be coming at this from two different angles, which is great, right? So let me ask you this. Hold on. You said it's my turn to ask, so let me do that. Hassan, is it my turn to ask a question or what?
That there's a genocide. You already recognize that Israel is committing a genocide.
I can care about two things, Hassan. It's very important to acknowledge that.
Don't you think
I can care about two things, my friend?
Incredibly narrow framework
very
surrounding
easy.
your own personal feelings.
I'm not that smart, but I can care about two things.
Okay, no,
even if one is more urgent than the other.
You think your own personal feelings.
Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm on one screen, and so if I open up another window, the video freezes. Try to not do
Born
that.
out of your misunderstandings is more important.
Did I say that? I said one is more urgent than the other, referring to the genocide.
Oh, okay. So you recognize that
Hassan,
the genocide is a more urgent
Hassan,
issue.
please let me ask a question.
almost all of your
Yes, very
commentary
good.
surrounding this issue
Very
on
good.
talking about your own personal feelings and how you've been wronged by people.
Very good. Let me ask you. So you claim.
Hey, how's it going, me out?
Wait, can you answer that question?
No,
Does
Hassan,
that
you
make
asked your
sense?
question. It's my turn. I talked about how gracious you were, man. What happened?
What?
Wait, but
I
does
said
that
you're
make
so
sense to
gracious.
you?
You're going to let me ask you a question. What happened?
Does that make
Don't
sense
make me
to
take
you?
it back. All right,
Does
let me
that
ask you a
make
question.
sense to you?
Hold on to that. Ask me after this. You defended Frogan's use of the Sabra tier list. What was your opinion on that?
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
I kind of want to see Ethan's live chat.
I think that the Sabra
Wait,
Hummus
is the live chat disabled? Oh, wait, no. Here it is.
tier list is absolutely insane to consider anti-Semitic, and most people have already laughed about it, despite the fact that it was very damaging in terms of deplatforming a bunch of content creators that participated in this, egged on by yourself, by the way.
Yes. With pleasure.
And
No.
and yeah, it's not.
It's insane.
Even remotely.
Okay.
It's not even remotely anti-Semitic.
Very
it's like
good. Let me ask
identical
you
to
a
the
question.
Cracker Band that Twitch capitulated on.
So let me follow up with this. Have you seen the thumbnail?
The thumbnail?
Yes, that's what I said. This
For
is the
what?
Ooh, this is something that I didn't see before. There's a oh wait, the thumbnail is an ugly version of Ethan Klein. Bro, we know that Ethan really gets upset when people like comment about his looks. I mean, he's upset. He's so mad that Hassan's attractive. And remember in the content cop when Hassan's like, "You not only are more attractive than me physically, but also mentally." And Ethan's like, "Wow, that was a low blow. Like, you're saying that you're smarter than me, that's fine. But saying you're hotter than me? What the hell, Hassan? What is this? Why are you being so childish?" Dude, he's bringing up the thumbnail now? Holy shit. How is this video even still up? Is it still up? I kind of want to watch it. We should do a stream where I just watch this video.
Now that's still up. Now, let me ask you this, Hassan. Here's Frogan's thumbnail for the Sabra Hummus tier list. In the F tier is me and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not in the tier list. He has never...
And obviously the reason he's bringing up the thumbnail is because on the actual video, Ethan and Ben Shapiro were not the only people in the F tier list, and there were other Jewish people in the F tier list as well.
Explored or used. Why do you think Ben Shapiro is on the F tier?
Ethan?
Whoa, answer the question.
Again.
What, you're dodging?
I'm not iDubbbz.
Oh, but you can't make value judgments suddenly on your friends who you've spent all this...
Bro, Ethan, you just said you can't make a value judgment over people getting arrested for saying from the river to the sea. Holy fuck. What? So, you can't say that people shouldn't get arrested for freedom of speech, and you're jabbing at Hassan for saying, if you're gonna ask me about other people, why don't you just talk to them? Okay, Sam Cedar said the exact same thing, dude, and you didn't have shit to say to Sam, but now that Hassan's saying this stuff, apparently it's too much for you to deal with.
Time defending.
No, because I don't care.
Well, I do.
I don't. Like,
I think it's great you don't care. Why is Ben Shapiro there?
I don't know. I don't care. Probably because he's also
Probably
a
because he's
massive
Jewish?
fucking... What?
Because it's the most prominent Jewish
Yeah,
creators on YouTube.
It's bait
Ben
too.
Shapiro's Judaism is the reason as to why he would be on this...
100% without a doubt, yes.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Hold
go ahead.
on.
Take your time. I know it's a lot to process.
Okay. Yeah, this is a lot to process.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, he's called Anthony Sargon from Do Not Worry Millhouse. It's like, dude, all he does is make fun of people. And when he has... And then he calls Bad Empanada a terrorist or says that he's ugly. Like, all he does is make fun of people's appearance and then, like, piss his pants when he thinks that they're hotter than him.
It's tough. You really don't know what to say because it looks pretty bad.
No, because it's so fucking stupid.
Well, tell me
Ethan.
then.
You look kind of dumb
So why
right
is Ben
now.
there?
You look kind of insane.
Okay, very good.
That's
Why is Ben
I'm having
there?
a hard time. Like,
Ben is there because he hates Arabs. He's literally a racist piece of shit, dude. Also, you're not Arab, Ethan. Ethan's not... He just said to Sam Cedar, I'm like 99% European. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Isn't this guy Jewish? Isn't this guy here Jewish? Who is this person? Arabs podcast. I don't know if I spelled that right. Arabs, a podcast hosted by Frogan and Raf. Okay, Raf. Let's look up Raf. Raf. Twitch. Okay, not really on Google at all. Frogan. So Raf is one of these guys. Once again, one of these guys. Okay, beard, glasses. Thin glasses, no beard, black hair, glasses. So I'm trying to do some like forensic analysis. Is this Raf? Is he Jewish? There was one Jew on the panel. I know, it's fucking crazy.
Like, I don't know why the fucking.
I don't know who this guy is.
Made this thumbnail. And
Why
I
is
don't
Ben
care.
there?
I don't have any issue with this thumbnail.
Why is Ben there?
Because he's a prominent defender of Israel.
You're quick to say that Jews aren't the only Zionists, right? So why is Ben Shapiro, of all the people in the world who are conservatives, who are Zionists, Christian Zionists, why Ben Shapiro? Me and Ben Shapiro and F Tier, the two most prominent Jewish creators on YouTube?
Ben Shapiro has said that he loves the genocide that Israel's doing. Why wouldn't he be on this list?
That's a coincidence, just like the swastika, huh?
Ethan,
these are two cosmic coincidences.
Ethan,
Hassan, they're really stacking up.
The tier list that you're talking about, first of all, the tier list that we're talking about was literally designed by a Jewish content creator who you advocated to ban, and he got banned.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
Jew. You called him a token
and
Jew.
I still stand by that. The man is just fucking. Yeah.
He was about to do his joke from the content cop or the content nuke, which I think is so funny because it's such a bad joke. He's like, "Oh, he's spent so many tokens that he became one," or he said he picked up so many tokens.
So you get to draw swastikas on PewDiePie, but Rafi can't say that there is a tier list here where Sabra
This is
Hummus
Frogan's tier list. This is her.
Is the lowest. The Sabra.
Wait. So it's Frogan's tier list. It's not the token Jews tier list, but he's gonna make Hassan defend it. Okay. So is it Frogan's tier list or is Hassan responsible for it?
Hummus, liking Sabra Hummus is the
Dude,
lowest.
holy shit. This is actually like a destruction of Ethan Klein. Hassan's like, you can draw swastikas and Sig Heil and not be called a token Jew, but you're accusing this person. Holy fuck, some big trucks driving through. You're accusing this person who did an Arab tier list because they're Arab and Jewish. Ethan doesn't seem to think that Arabs can be Jewish because he always says, well, there's Jews and then there's Arabs. That's what Ethan Klein always does. He's a Arab Jew and he does a tier list about how Arab someone is. He's not in the F tier because he's literally Arab. And Ethan Klein says, well, you're just a token. Okay, so he's token for doing that, but you're not a token Jew even though you draw swastikas on people, even so though you Sig Heil. Like, I think Ethan Klein literally is a token Jew because he uses his Jewishness to defend Israel. He's being used as a shield by Israel.
Very good, and I'm glad he did. He definitely deserved it.
Jew. You called him a token
and
Jew.
I still stand by that. The man is just fucking. Yeah.
So you get to draw swastikas on PewDiePie, but Rafi can't say that there is a tier list here where Sabra
This is
Hummus
Frogan's tier list. This is her.
Is the lowest. The Sabra Hummus, liking Sabra Hummus is the lowest tier.
Ben Shapiro.
And the highest tier is being able to get a Habibi pass. You, as a Jew, get to determine what other Jews are able to do. You're the Pope of the Jews, as Sam Seeger likes to
I'm
call
not
Ben
determining
Shapiro,
what they can
ironically
do,
enough.
but this
is what's going on.
This is Frogan's bit. This is her stage. This is her bit. I mean, you can say the Jewish dude is the fall guy and did everything, but that's not true.
Wait, so you get to draw swastikas, but Rafi can't even say Sabra Hummus is dog shit.
He can say whatever he wants.
No, he can't. You criticized him for it, and you said, oh, look at this token Jew. So when he calls Sabra Hummus dog shit, Ethan Klein calls him a token Jew, but then when Hassan's calling him out for this, oh, he can suddenly do whatever he wants. All right, then shut the fuck up about it then.
I'm not criticizing. By the way, you think that my criticism is that he doesn't like Sabra hummus? Are you being serious right now? By the way, is that a beat? Hold on, what are you drinking?
It's a Dr. Pepper cream
Isn't that
soda.
who owns that?
I don't know, but it's not on the BDS
Are you
national
sure?
BDS list.
We'll double check.
Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Okay, we'll double check that.
Oh my god.
It's not about Sabra hummus, and like let's not be obtuse.
Ethan, actually, the BDS one is actually pretty funny too, because like you've been, you consistently talk about how like I drink Diet Coke or whatever. When that fan came up to me and said stop drinking Diet Coke, it was not on the
we'll double check.
National Committee's official BDS list.
Yes, it was.
And ever since it has been on that official BDS list,
you're lying.
I have not drank Diet Coke or purchased any Diet Cokes at all.
You're lying. It was on the list.
Wait, what is?
What? Yeah, it was on the list.
Bro, holy fuck! This is why I want the dual camera angle, because I want to see Ethan Klein when he does unhinged shit like this. Bro literally just did the as a debate-winning move. Holy shit, that actually almost rivals XQC's worm. Who did he do the worm with? Aiden Ross or some dumbass like that? I think that from Ethan Klein might be the most 400 level IQ move I've seen in a debate.
You're lying.
What was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on
Hold
the
on,
list.
we have to run that
I have
back.
not drank Diet Coke or purchased any Diet Cokes at all. You consistently talk about how like I drink Diet Coke or whatever. When that fan came up to me and said stop drinking Diet Coke, it was not on the Palestinian National Committee's official BDS list.
Yes, it was.
And ever since it has been on that official BDS list,
you're lying.
I have not drank Diet Coke or purchased any Diet Cokes at all.
You're lying. It was on the list.
Wait, what is?
What? Yeah, it was on the list. You're lying.
What was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on the list, and I stopped purchasing Coke, and I stopped drinking Diet Coke.
You
even
said
though I love
you
Diet
know what's
Coke.
funny? You told her
Because I think it's like
you remember
not
what you told
that
her, son?
significant.
You remember what you told her? You said I'll just put it in a cup.
Bro, it's actually crazy that Ethan's like trying to make fun of Hassan stuttering when I mean that's literally what his chat was doing to Sam Cedar too. And then anyone who's like, oh, Ethan looks jittery, he's probably on drugs. He's like, that's ableist of you to say. Okay, then stop criticizing people for their appearance and stop criticizing people for like their speech mannerisms.
Yeah, no, I was joking with her because I thought that it was a ridiculous request at the time because it wasn't on the Palestinian National Committee's official boycott, divestment, and sanctions list, Ethan.
Okay.
So what are they even talking about, Dr. Pepper? Like, I don't even give a fuck, but I was just wondering. Guys, if anyone knows what they're talking about and cares to look it up, feel free to do it and throw it there in chat.
Not about Sabra hummus, just so you know. Like, let's not be silly.
Wait, what is it about?
It's about what's Sabra means a Jew born in Israel. It's an Israeli company. Everybody knows it's like considered.
I love this line of dialogue from Ethan because it's like, so at any point if anyone says the word Sabra, are they referring to Jews born in Israel? So if I'm like, I'm gonna go buy some Sabra from the store, am I buying slaves? If I say I'm gonna go eat some Sabra, does anyone want some? Am I being a cannibal now? Like, come on, Ethan, there's a context for this shit, and the context is that Sabra is a shitty Americanized version of Arab food. And so when they say, oh, you like Sabra, they mean you know so little about Arab culture, you think the worst pale imitation of Arab culture is good. That's what they're saying. It's not you like Jews born in Israel, because as you say, there's a lot of Arab Jews. And Israeli culture does have Arab culture in it. So if you actually do live in Israel, you probably aren't going to be on the F tier list for how much you identify as being Arab. Like, it falls
Like
flat
Israeli
on its
hummus.
face.
It's been on the BDS list. Everybody knows the connotation.
Terrible. Okay, Sabra Hummus is on the BDS list because it supports Israel and it donates a lot of its funds to the IDF. Yeah, of course it's on the BDS list. Are you pro BDS list or are you against the BDS list? Just a minute ago, you were like, Hassan, you can't drink that. It's on the BDS list. And now you're like, why are they putting Sabra hummus on the BDS list? That's so racist.
Of Sabra hummus, right?
It's
Nobody.
So doo-doo.
Yeah,
It
I
is
don't like
doo-doo
Sabra hummus either. But we're not talking about hummus. What I don't like is
great. So
anti-Semitism perpetuated by your friends and swept by you. Now, why is Ben Shapiro in the F tier? That's a cosmic coincidence? Okay, let's move on. Very good.
Bro, Ben Shapiro literally put out a tweet that said Arabs like to live in open sewage and blow shit up. That he's a race. He's like an Islamophobic racist against Arabs. And Ethan's has like his panties in a bunch. That Ben Shapiro's on the F tier list of how Arab someone is, or like how much they identify with Arab culture.
Ethan, go ahead. Next question.
I'm not.
I know
Frogan,
it's.
and I don't know
I know.
why.
How can I make value judgments on my friends I've been defending for 2 years?
Every time Ethan says that, I'm just gonna bring up the fact that he's like, I'm not gonna make a value judgment over whether someone should get arrested for freedom of speech, arrested for their speech that isn't inciting violence, it's not inciting riots. And Ethan's like, I can't say whether you should be arrested for that speech or not.
Also,
who can say?
There is a tier list in front of me, and it seems like a bunch of people, both
bench.
Yeah, let's just look this up. Well, maybe Hassan's not gonna put it up there. They're not gonna let him. Maybe we can find it on his video feed. 43, but Hassan started 10 minutes later, so it should be around 33-minute mark.
And now explain what he means by that. We did not leave Iraq.
33 minutes. Let's see if, oh yeah, here's the tier list. What he's talking about.
Ethan,
go ahead.
Oh. No, it's a.
Are you not embarrassed by this armpit hair? It's so cringy, bro. It's like so weird. I'm glad you changed that finally.
Wait, let's go back to the 33-minute mark.
BDS list.
You're lying. You're lying.
What was on the list?
Coke.
Yes, it was put on the list, and I stopped purchasing Coke, and I stopped drinking Diet Coke, even though I love Diet Coke.
You know what's funny? You told her.
It's like not.
You remember what you told her, son? You remember? Yeah, you remember what you told her? You said, "I'll just put it in a cup."
How?
Yeah, no, I was joking.
Dude,
with
he's
her
so
because I thought that
dumb.
It was a ridiculous.
He's like, Hassan said something humorous. That's a gotcha moment.
Official boy.
It's not about what's considered like Israeli hummus. It's been on the BDS list.
dark,
Everybody
it's
knows
terrible.
the connotations of Sabra. What
okay,
I don't
great.
like
So
is
you-
anti-Semitism perpetuated by your friends and swept by you. Now, why is Ben Shapiro in the F tier? That's a question. Say Shapiro at the end. I'm looking at the thumbnail, bro. I'm talking about the thumbnail.
I know, but
right?
I first of all, again, I'm making inferences about Jewish
Ben
and
Shapiro and
non-Jewish
me
are
are in the
on
F
the
tier.
Loves Sabra tier list.
You're looking at the end. I'm looking at the thumbnail.
You're
bro.
looking at
I'm
the
talking
end.
about the thumbnail.
I know, but
right?
So even though in practice the video was clearly not anti-Semitic, Ethan, due to his insane conspiracies, says that the thumbnail is anti-Semitic because I'm there with Ben Shapiro. Okay, dude. I mean, Ben Shapiro was in the F tier list because he's been a racist piece of shit against Muslims and he's advocated for the genocide of Palestinians, and you're on that list because you've also advocated for the genocide of Palestinians. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say here.
First of all, again, I'm making inferences about editorial decisions.
Oh wait, we might actually have to watch Hassan's feed because you can see Hassan and Ethan. I kind of want to go back to the part where Ethan's like,
other people have made. I'm just simply speculating at this point. But you know, it's a.
Are you not embarrassed by this armpit hair? It's so cringy, bro. It's like so weird. I'm glad you changed that finally. On a separate note.
holy shit, dude. Ethan's so
I find it just
obsessed.
so weird and bizarre that this was your thumbnail for so long. Also, ironically, wearing a
thumbnail.
Rolex hat, which is like probably the symbol of capitalist excess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it was ironic. You said he's ironically wearing a Rolex hat because it's ironic, dude.
I got a free Rolex.
Bro, what the fuck? Ethan's so weird. He's such a child. Yeah, cool. Dude, this is actually the effect of like 6 months of brain rot from his podcast crew. His podcast crew has been playing Hassan sound bites to literally coddle Ethan's feelings every time, where they're like, oh God, or what did Hassan say? Some stupid Hassan soundbite clips. And that's literally conditioned Ethan to, whenever he hears Hassan say something that he considers like a soundbite, he has no option but to repeat it in a weird condescending imitation. It's like he's just been conditioned to do this now. His brain has rotted, and he just looks like a complete unhinged freak when he's actually talking to Hassan.
From a friend of mine. I still wear it every now and then.
Yeah, and you're so, oh wow, who knew? So anyway, Ben Shapiro was
He's
accidentally
such a
in the
child.
atmosphere.
To do with anything? What's going on, man? What's happening?
Yeah, I know, it's confusing. It's very confusing for you. It's like a car crash, I'm sure.
So why do you think there's a Jewish man?
So this is a cosmic mistake. Let's move on.
Wait, Dan was actually supposed to be in the mod?
Tier list. If you think that it's like all about anti-Semitism and
do you think that this is at least a bad coincidence?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Well, that's fantastic.
No, I don't think it's a
Holy
bad
shit,
coincidence at all.
Ethan's
I think
actually
you're,
so dumb.
You're trying to find with a fine-tooth comb like any incidents
Of course.
that even
The Jewish
come across
man
as
is
remotely
crazy. He
anti-Semitic,
sees
and you're having a
anti-Semitism
really hard
everywhere.
time. Well,
These
you want my
are
answer,
just
you want my
cosmic
perspective, I'm telling you.
mistakes.
If you want my perspective, I'm giving it to you. I think genuinely, at a time when there is unprecedented levels of
Yes,
open
I know. We
out
can't
and
talk about anything else. That's
anti-Semitism,
very convenient for you.
at a time when there
Holy fuck, dude. He thought Hassan was going to bring up the genocide in Gaza, and Hassan was talking about actual anti-Semitism. And Ethan's like, okay, yeah, you say there's anti-Semitism happening, but I guess we can't talk about anti-Semitism then. It's like, no, motherfucker. You're not talking about any of the actual anti-Semitism. I mean, once again, like, not talking about Candace Owens. You're not talking about the fucking Nazi rallies that are happening all across this country. And instead, you want to sit there and talk about Frogan doing an Arab tier list. Embarrassing.
there's unprecedented levels of out and about anti-Semitism with incredibly prominent, oftentimes right-wing conservative figureheads actively talking about Jews, okay, in deeply anti-Semitic fashion. You have lasered in on people that you can't even actually catch, quote unquote, dead to rights because they're not anti-Semitic.
Well, they're not wearing a shirt that says "I hate Jews," but they're walking around with swastikas and doing tier lists with Jews on the bottom. I mean, that's as close as you can pretty much fucking get without them just saying "I hate Jewish people."
Ethan, it seems to me like you
and I think you're acting really silly and obtuse right now. The guy who's all about microaggressions and understanding the perspective of minorities and stuff, telling a Jewish man that he's hallucinating anti-Semitism and won't even concede that this looks bad.
No,
okay,
you're
fantastic.
hallucinating anti-Semitism in this circumstance. I'm not
Very
saying
good.
Anti-Semitism is not a prominent fixture of American politics.
Very good.
I actually do.
Like,
think
Ethan's
that
just-
anti-Semitism has
Ethan's just schizo posting at this point.
popularity in American politics, especially.
Like, he's given, let me explain. He's given his reasonings for thinking that Frogan is anti-Semitic. He's given his reasonings for thinking that iDubbbz is anti-Semitic. And what are his reasonings? iDubbbz had a sword from anime, and the sword had a symbol that looks like a swastika on it. And Frogan did a tier list on how Arab someone is, and she put two white people who have said racist things about Arabs in the bottom of the tier list in her video thumbnail, right? And Ethan says, okay, well, that's a Nazi swastika, and this is a racial tier list with Jews at the bottom. It's been disproven both times by Hassan, multiple different ways, and then he just sits there and says, okay, well, even though you've disproven everything, I'm just going to ignore you and ignore everything that you've said and still maintain that that's racist. So, like, what are you going to do about it, Hassan?
So that's not my point at all. I'm saying you individually right now wish that these people were anti-Semitic, so you're trying to find anything you can hold on to.
And Ethan has also said that most anti-Semitism is coming from the left these days. So that's all you really need to know in terms of whether he's doing a good job advocating against anti-Semitism and fighting against anti-Semitism when he's targeting Frogan and iDubbbz for it. I mean, yeah, he's not targeting anti-Semitism. He's targeting people that make him feel bad.
It's really not a stretch, man.
None of those people are me. So I don't know why we've
stop with the
devolved
value judgment thing.
conversation
Like, you
away
can't make a
from-
decision. It sounds stupid as hell.
What?
Wait, I sound
Let me
stupid
ask-
as hell?
Stop with the value judgment thing. Haven't you been asking him? Haven't you been asking him to do value judgments?
Value judgment thing. Like, you
away
can't make a
from-
decision. It sounds stupid as hell, dude.
Wait, I sound
Let me
stupid
ask-
as hell? What?
No, when you go, I can't draw. I'm not them. I mean, it's.
I mean, I don't know why you're asking me what their genuine decision making is.
Why would I
and
want my
don't know.
best friend
I can't
Idubs to
tell
be
you what their-
anti-Semitic?
What their process
why,
was.
why would
But
I
don't
want
think
my
it's
best
an
friend
issue.
Idubs to be anti-Semitic? Why would I want that? You think I enjoy my friends and people around me
Can I be honest?
being
Do you
anti-Semitic?
want me to tell you why? I don't
would
think you're gonna
love
like the
to hear.
answer.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Go ahead.
Okay. You want everyone that has criticized you to be anti-Semitic so that it makes you feel better about your position. It's not your own.
Bro, called out in 4K. So what I find funny about this whole conversation so far is Hassan's like, all right, Ethan, no kitty gloves. And he said that multiple times. He said that in his response to the nuke that Ethan made. He said that while he was having a conversation with Ethan. He's like, you really want me to tell you? No kitty gloves, all right? Kitty gloves are off. And he's like, fuck you, dude. The funny thing is, Hassan can't help himself. He's too nice of a guy. I think he is coddling Ethan. I think he is coddling Ethan's feelings here. Could be saying about how shitty of a person Ethan is.
Personal positions that you have explained to people that come across like you're using anti-Semitism as a shield to deflect criticisms against Israel. And
This
that if
is,
they are
what
actually
an
out and about
analysis.
anti-Semites, that'll make you feel a little bit more comfortable, like you've won the
Yes.
argument in your mind.
No,
and that
shit.
you're
Sorry,
committed
guys. This froze.
also finally go, oh yeah, you're right. You're a permanent victim in this
This
situation.
might have frozen. Oh, I think my computer's overheating. It's in the sun. Damn, the sun is really fucking my computer up.
But because there's an unimaginable amount of anti-Semitism everywhere online, it comes across as shocking that you laser in on what...
I mean, this is exactly... Hassan's exactly right. Ethan wants to criticize people that are criticizing him. He doesn't have good ways to do that, and so he cries anti-Semitism. But when there is so much anti-Semitism online from right-wing figures, once again, leftists aren't anti-Semitic, from right-wing figures, he looks like a complete joke, because if he says that he's fighting against anti-Semitism and he's on this crusade to root anti-Semitism from the internet, well, you're looking at the wrong way. You're ignoring a whole bunch of anti-Semitism, and you're actually promoting people like Asmongold, Steiny, and whoever else was on that fucking poker tournament that you did. You're ignoring all of those people, and you're actually propping up those people. You look like a fool.
you perceive are dog whistles when they're very clearly not even dog whistles at all. And I'll give you an example of this. Something that you did that I found very funny was you tweeted, or you don't tweet, sorry. You Instagram posted about my Theo Von podcast appearance.
Sure
My
did.
Theo Von podcast appearance where you were like, oh, I can't believe Theo Von
Sure
didn't
did.
actually ask him about his like dangerous anti-Semitism or any number of different things in the conversation, including, I think you talked about Rick Scott. Now, we did actually talk. Theo Von and I did actually talk about Rick Scott.
Let's pull
I'm
that
sure you
clip
didn't see
up,
that.
Hassan.
But hold on. Let me finish. But what I found very strange about that was the fact that Theo Von, and I didn't even know this at the time, the day prior to me, had actually interviewed Candace Owens. I think you and I both agree that Candace Owens is an anti-Semite, right?
I think that he was on that 1-2 punch.
Okay, so...
Wow,
so
bow,
do you
bang.
think- Do you think...
Bro, you've literally said that Hassan isn't anti-Semitic as recently as 2 days ago. And now you're going to be like, oh yeah, Theo Von had Hassan because he's just trying to get anti-Semites on. Once again, he has no consistency whatsoever.
With that anti-Semitism, boy.
Ethan, as your former
Think he was-
podcast
he was on the
co-host,
vibe.
as your former podcast co-host, do you think that I am anti-Semitic, one? And if I am, if you think I am, do you think I'm as anti-Semitic as Candace Owens?
So, yes, I think you're anti-Semitic at this point. I'm comfortable saying that.
At this
Are you
point.
Bro, literally 2 days ago, he just said, no, Hassan's not anti-Semitic. All right, Ethan. Okay, dude.
As anti. Well, let me finish.
Then let's
Oh,
move
let me
on from
finish. You
Frogan,
asked me 2
and
questions.
let's address
No.
what
You
you
asked
doing that's
me.
anti-Semitic.
Hold the phone. You asked me 2 questions together. I'm going to answer both. You said, "Do you think I'm anti-Semitic?" After talking to you so far today, I can say unreservedly yes. I think that you are more anti-Semitic than Candace Owens? No. But I think your form of anti-Semitism is way more destructive and sinister. Candace Owens is outright. Hold on there, Hassan. This is an important
You
question.
think I'm anti-Semitic now? Because 2 days ago you said I
I'm
wasn't.
going to answer.
Yep, 2 days ago he said he wasn't.
I'm gonna answer.
Okay.
Or
yesterday,
your form
I
of
think, or 2 days ago?
anti-Semitism is way more insidious because it's silent, it's tricky. She's out there.
Bro, Ethan is literally doing Jewish conspiracy theories about Hassan and about Hezbollah and Hamas too. He's like, they control the media, they're pulling the strings, even though they're not being out, even though you can't pin anything on them, they're there, they're just invisible. Hassan's in the walls. I walk outside, I trip over the stairs. Hassan pushed me, he did anti-Semitic. It's like the fucking Flash meme. It's like, when I was fucking my wife and I came too fast, it was actually because I was thinking of Hassan and he forced me to do it. When I stubbed my toe, it's Hassan, he put the Lego brick there. He actually lifted up the door jamb a little bit. When my car won't start, it's Hassan, he ran the batteries down. Your kind of anti-Semitism is hyper-focused only on me, and it's invisible, and it's insidious. Goddamn Hassan. Hassan's in the wall. Like, he's at home with his kids. Daddy, do you want to draw with us? Shh, shh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? The wind rustles through. That's Hassan, he's in the walls. He's everywhere. He's out to get us. There's a fire coming. I bet Hassan's happy the fire's coming.
They're just saying what she believes, and I respect her for that. Nick Fuentes is just out there. Nobody knows that what's his stance on Israel. Candace Owens' stance on Israel. But you're
What? Did Ethan just say nobody knows what Nick Fuentes' and Candace Owens' stance on Israel is?
It's tricky. She's out there.
Bro, this shit is so funny.
Or yesterday,
Your form of anti-Semitism is way more insidious because it's silent, it's tricky. She's out there just saying what she believes, and I respect her for that.
Ethan literally repurposing Jewish conspiracy theories to say that Hassan's he's a tricky anti-Semitic guy doing anti-Semitism against me and the other fascists that he criticizes.
Nick Fuentes is just out there. Nobody knows that what's his stance on Israel. Candace Owens' stance on Israel. But you're tricky. What you do is deny the heritage of Middle Eastern Jews, stuff like that. You accuse.
What the dude? This is like a breakdown of reality. Holy shit, guys! You are not kidding when you said that this gets worse. He's literally like having a mental breakdown in real time. He's saying Hassan denies the heritage of Middle Eastern Jews. That is quite literally what Ethan does on a daily basis when he says it's Jews and Arabs. That's a denial of the heritage of Middle Eastern Jews. That's a flattening of the different cultures of Jewish people throughout the world. Ethan does this all the time. Ethan's the one that says, oh, when you criticize Zionists, you're actually being anti-Semitic because all American Jews support Israel in their genocide, right? So that's being anti-Semitic. Yeah, how the fuck? Like, this guy is losing his mind. He literally just said no one knows Nick Fuentes' stance on Israel. No one knows Candace Owens' stance on Israel. Well, once again, we know that when Ethan Klein makes a statement about a broad group of people, it's actually just a projection and he's talking about himself. So when he says no one knows Nick Fuentes' stance about the state of Israel, notice how he doesn't say about Jews. Hassan says Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens are anti-Semitic. Ethan says no one knows their opinion on the state of Israel. That's because in his mind, when he says no one knows something, he means I don't know this thing. And when he hears anti-Semitic, he means do you support Israel or not? He thinks that. And so when he says no one knows their opinion on the state of Israel, he's basically saying you say they're anti-Semitic, but I actually don't know their stance on Israel, so how can you say they're anti-Semitic? Thus, I am innocent of not covering them and not calling out their anti-Semitism. Like, he's actually just a moron, and once again, He's conflating anti-Semitism with criticism of Israel, and he's saying no one knows his thing when he's talking about himself. Like, man, he really is. I don't know if he's an open book or if I've just become better at reading him, but it's quite obvious what he's doing here.
Accuse them of being always the oppressor, always.
Can you
everything?
point to-
And by the way, you spent the first part of this debate calling me insane for what I think most people would perceive as blatant, obvious
Ethan,
anti-Semitic acts.
I don't think most people would look at what you're doing right now and
once again, the things that Ethan says are anti-Semitic is a tier list about how Arab you identify as, with two openly anti-Arab racists that are both white at the bottom of it, that are both American imperialists, by the way, and racist, and both white at the bottom of it. Like, they don't have Arab culture, so they're at the bottom. And someone holding an anime sword from, like, what was 10 years ago, probably the biggest anime in the world, or one of in the top 3 biggest animes in the world. And you're holding the most famous sword from one of the biggest animes in the world, and that's anti-Semitic. Okay, bro. Jesus Christ.
think that
Well,
this
let's
is
not worry
a
about
sign
that.
of mental sanity.
Well, we'll have time to poll the audience afterwards. So let's
Okay.
continue.
All right. Well, look, going back to the Theo Vaughn situation,
Like, notice how Ethan didn't. He said, oh yeah, I'm going to get to whether you're anti-Semitic or not, and then never did. I guess he called him, like, an invisible anti-Semite.
And you said, so you said I'm anti-Semitic, right? Yesterday you said, or 2 days ago, in the aftermath of the Sam Cedar conversation, you said I'm not anti-Semitic. So what has changed in that process? Is it this conversation that you and I had?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right.
Here's the clip, by the way. You accused me of not.
You know what's made me change my mind on whether you're anti-Semitic or not? You've made me feel bad during this conversation, Hassan. And I'm Jewish, so actually that's pretty anti-Semitic of you to do.
You accused me of not mentioning that Theo Vaughn did not ask you about Rick Scott. Let's go back and watch the clip.
No, I said, I didn't say in the clip.
Bro,
I
you
said in your
literally look like the
Instagram
dude from
story.
Beetlejuice. That's crazy.
On your
the small head
Ethan,
guy.
I use my words very carefully. I said in the Instagram story that you posted. I don't
Small
watch
head
your
guy,
stream that
Beetlejuice.
much. I don't, I only see like
In the
bits and
waiting room?
pieces of it.
Bro, that's crazy. Do you see the resemblance?
What?
You're this guy from Beetlejuice. In this photo, you have like the same coat and shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's you are a comedian.
I sure am, buddy. I see you laughing. All right, anyway.
I don't even have any comments to make because it's just on its face, cringy as fuck and painful to watch.
So you accused me of misrepresenting what happened. Let's play the clip.
Right, $800 billion of Medicare and Medicaid that they want to cut. Mike Johnson goes on stage, says, goes on Caitlin Collins on CNN and says, oh, there's a lot of fraud happening. There's not fraud happening in Medicare and Medicaid on the point of the recipient.
Right.
It's happening on the point of the providers.
Right.
And that's why I got banned recently on Twitch yesterday. Because
Sorry about that one day.
So you just got back.
Yeah, Libs of TikTok was like posting about how I said
Wait, what
something.
is this?
And they misconstrued it as though it was a call to action to assassinate.
Wait, why are you showing me this?
Senator?
Well, you're saying I didn't bring this up, but or I'm saying that Theo didn't bring this up. He didn't. You brought it up, framed it in your own way to basically preempt.
Holy shit, dude, it's literally a clip of Hassan talking about it. We don't know how it was brought up. How can you definitively say you brought it up in your own way if at the beginning of the clip starts when Hassan's already talking? You don't know how it was brought up. What you bring on the... You had the clip to prove that Theo didn't bring it up, but rather Hassan brought it up, when the clip you are using doesn't prove that one hyper-specific detail. Why would you do this to yourself? You look like a moron.
Ethan, tough question. Yeah.
Ethan, I said on the Instagram story that you posted about me, Dan, can you switch it back to Ethan?
Don't switch it back, Dan. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm switching it back. 1 second.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
I
this
know,
looks
man.
ridiculous on my end.
It sure
I'm
does,
sorry.
buddy.
Okay. So yeah, this was if you want,
And
you
it's
can
not
also
just
pull
'cause
up
of the
post
video.
as well. But the post I was referring to was make sure Theo knows how you feel about hosting a terrorist adjacent content creator. And I believe there was another post about it or something. But again,
I said he was irresponsible to platform you and not ask you difficult questions.
So the question I have for you once again is like he had Candace Owens on. Like, do you feel like that's a little bit more damaging in terms of
Wait, hold on. I just want to read this
ask you a difficult
Instagram.
question.
Make sure Theo knows how you feel about hosting terrorist adjacent creator. I love that, terrorist adjacent creator. What does that mean? You're adjacent to terrorists, like physically adjacent to that? What? Kaya's there? Is she the terrorist? What is happening? So anyway, yeah, Ethan asks his fans to brigade Theo Vaughn's comment section and be like, fuck you, you should be canceled. Hassan's a bad guy. And he doesn't give a fuck about Candace Owens going on the week before. That's a hypocrisy Hassan's pointing out.
So the question I have for you once again is like he had Candace Owens on. Like, do you feel like that's a little bit more damaging in terms of spreading potentially anti-Semitic narratives? Or do you think that anti-Semitism is when you feel bad personally, and that could be any number of different things that I've done in any given moment?
Yes, I think you were just as bad as her in your own special way, and that's why. And you guys were hitting that same flavor
on anti-Semitism in my own special way.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right.
Very
cool.
good. Very good. So let me ask you a question. Hassan, can I ask you a question?
Officially, not talk about like Frogan or anyone else and tell me why I'm anti-Semitic? Because yesterday,
we're kind
2
of
days ago,
getting
you
there.
said I wasn't, but also for a year.
You're repeating yourself.
Well, I am, because you haven't answered this question.
I have
2 days ago,
literally
you said I
answered it
wasn't
probably
anti-Semitic.
2 times.
For
The
a
reason that I'm
year-
saying
for
you're
a
anti-Semitic is
year-
because how you responded to my question at the beginning of this interview.
Ethan, for an entire year, you called me a virulent anti-Semite, a rabid
No,
anti-Semite.
never did.
You did. You went back
did
and
not.
forth on it.
I have
Even
actually
Dan
went
checked
back
you
and
on it.
checked. I had said that you spread anti-Semitism and stuff, but I never called you an anti-Semitic. I went
so
back
I was
and
just
checked.
simply
You're lying.
spreading anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difference.
Okay, got it. Okay.
There's not a difference. Like, why would you say that someone's that spreads anti-Semitism is not anti-Semitic? What would possibly the reason for that? What would be the reason for that? There is no reason. And the reason Ethan has this distinction is because he's like, oh, well, I don't know why this is a distinction. Maybe it's just because the people he's actually saying are anti-Semitic are like bad empanada and Hassan supports them. Maybe it's the denims thing. I think one of the big reasons is that deep down he's like, okay, criticizing Zionism and criticizing Israel isn't actually anti-Semitic, but maybe it could become anti-Semitic, which is ironically what Ethan's trying to make happen when he conflates Zionism and Israel with Jews all the time. Like, Ethan's trying his hardest to make a criticism of Israel to actually be anti-Semitic.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Is about Habibi, not Sabr. You're conceding to the framing. Yeah, we're not conceding to anything. I don't want to even talk about the tier list anymore. Stop it. Okay.
Okay, let me ask you. My turn. Do you think it's appropriate to accuse? Do you think it's appropriate to accuse any Jewish person you disagree with of working with the ADL?
If they worked with the ADL, sure.
No, I don't.
Here, for example, is someone using it anti-Semitically.
Ethan Klein and ADL in unison got.
Hassan, let me finish. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy.
I do think that's a
You're getting ahead of yourself, man.
That's a valid thing to not only speculate, but also I stand on
Hold
that
the
for
phone.
sure.
Hassan, I'm getting there. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy. Here's an example of it being used in an anti-Semitic way. I'm sure you'll agree. Timeline on that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Who is this? What is this?
This is your fan who ran up on me on Rodeo.
Who the fuck is this guy? My fan?
Yeah.
The
guy in the content nuke?
Is this the guy?
Wait, you remember.
No, this is the guy that
Oh my God,
claimed was my fan, right? He was calling me the fucking
Yeah,
X.
Ethan said he worked with the ADL.
Oh, I love this dude. Anyway, who cares if he's your fan or not? The point is,
Hold on.
Bro, why does Ethan bring something up? Hassan's like, no, that's wrong. And then Ethan says, okay, well, why does it even matter? Yo, why does it matter? You're the one who brought it up. You should... apparently it matters to you. This guy's like, yeah, this is your fan, Hassan. And Hassan's like, no, he's not. And he's like, well, who cares? Why does it even matter? Why are you saying that it's not your fan? It doesn't even matter, bro.
Brought this dude up.
It doesn't matter.
And I believe
I'm showing him as an example of you.
It does matter. It does matter.
Okay,
You brought
fine.
him
He's
up.
not a fan. I don't care.
You brought him up.
Listen.
Wait, what do you mean you don't care?
Thank you for calling this
Hassan,
shit out.
If I brought him up,
That
let me
person is
finish
not
my
a fan of
point.
mine. Why did
Save
you?
it.
Why did you make it seem like that person was a fan of
Hassan,
mine then?
Let me get to there, okay? You
No,
asked
get
me.
there right
It's
now.
my turn to ask a question.
Why do you
Just
think
because I
this
brought him
random
up
fucking
doesn't
guy
give
is a
you
fan
the
of mine,
space to
Ethan? Is it
interject.
because he rolled up to me and tried
Let
to
me
fucking
finish.
Clout farm? Is that why? At the
Yes.
encampments
Okay,
where I
thank
was
you very
very
much.
clearly disturbed by his presence? Is that
Hassan,
why?
I think you know where I'm going.
Come
And I
on,
think
Dan, you're slacking on the producing. Give us the green screen feed for Hassan.
Hassan, I think you know where I'm going, and I think you're scared.
Ethan, can you
Yep,
answer the question? Why did you falsely claim that this fucking random
Because
dude
he's
who
on
does
video
not
saying
like
he
me
loves you, that you're his
is a
favorite
fan of
person in the
mine?
world. What do you mean?
Wait.
All right, Hassan, here you go, buddy.
Approaching you?
Here we go. You wanted it, I've got it.
Approaching you.
Can I give you a hug, bro? I'm so sorry.
I love you.
I'm so sorry. I love you.
I love you, bro.
This is an environment
You're the GOAT.
For me?
You're the coolest guy in the world, bro.
Wow, how crazy.
Look gay in that.
You literally brought up a tweet where the guy's like, I don't like Hassan because he likes trans people. So you know he's not a fan of Hassan.
Fucking, is this another hysterical delusion?
Yes, it is. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why. Because we spent
Wow,
a good
dude,
deal
I
of
love
the
you. You're the
encampment.
GOAT, bro.
We spent a good deal of our time in the encampment. If you watch the unedited full live stream, we spent a good deal of the entirety of the encampment running away from him because he kept trying to ask me dumbass fucking questions.
Okay, but that's got nothing to do with he's a fan.
For his
Listen,
own dumbass
Hassan,
podcast.
please.
He's literally not a fan. Like, if Ethan's willing to have this conversation, you brought up the tweet of the guy being like, I don't like Hassan because he likes trans people.
You're derailing this, and I need
I'm not
to
derailing
make
it.
an.
It's not
You
called derailing.
absolutely
When
are.
I'm telling you I was there and I'm telling you the situation. You
very
are
good.
nefariously making it seem as though this person is a massive fan of mine.
Do I need
He
to
was
play
just
the
trying to
clip
clout
again?
chase.
I'll play it again.
You can play that clip again.
Oh my God.
Here, I'll add subtitles.
Can you play the clip where he openly admits he doesn't know who I am and asks people around? Because that also happened in
You're my
the
hero, bro. I love you.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
You're the coolest guy in the world.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
I think I look gay in that one.
Like, something better to support the idea that this guy's a fan of Hassan would be if he actually, like, promoted any of Hassan's content or talked about what Hassan believes in, anything like that, other than just, you know, he comes up to a random person that has a video crew following him around. It's like, I love you, here, let me be on camera for a second.
Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
If
You
you
okay?
think he was a fan of mine, why'd you call him a Sneeko fan when you interviewed him?
Because he's both. I mean, surely there's
Oh.
crossover.
Oh, there's a crossover.
Do I need to?
Surely there's crossover. Oh my god, he said, even Ethan doesn't believe it when he said that. Even Ethan doesn't believe that there's crossover fans with Sneeko and Hassan. Come on, dude.
Play the video again.
Well,
I'll do it again.
My
Fuck it.
producer and my
I'll
camera
play it
op,
again.
March. My producer and my camera op, March,
Can I give you a hug, bro?
was
I'm so
there.
sorry, bro. I love you, bro. I'm so
And he's
sorry.
in the
I love
chat
you,
right
bro.
now.
I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the
Ethan.
coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay.
Listen, he might not be a fan, but you can't accuse me of being delusional for saying
You
that.
are delusional.
Okay,
You
very
are.
good. I'm delusional. Let me get to my point, please.
I mean,
so I'm not even asking you to endorse this guy. I'm just simply showing you.
I don't endorse him, and he's
I know
not a
you
fan
don't.
of mine. So why did you claim that he was a fan of mine? Because he fucking clout
I'll play it
chased-
again. I mean, I feel like
because he
we're
was
running in
clout
circles,
chasing
but
a
I'll play the
fucking
clip again.
Palestinian encampment. That's why. That's all it takes for you.
No, it was when he said, "You're the GOAT. You're my hero. I love
He
you."
didn't know who I was. He was just saying that so he could fucking ask for an interview
He
for his
literally
podcast,
recognized
for his
you.
POA podcast.
Okay, who cares? I don't care.
Wait,
So
now
let me
you
move
don't
on.
care.
Do you want to
It
talk
seems
about this
like-
for 2 hours, or do you
it
want to
seems
actually
like
have a
this is
conversation?
Wait, well, hold on. You can't just say you don't care all of a sudden.
Ethan bringing up random clip after random clip after random clip. Hassan, do you want to have a real conversation, or should we just, like, keep talking about different people that are unrelated to you for 2 hours? That's all you've been doing, Ethan.
When you look like a fucking asshole for falsely claiming that some random person who
I'll play it again.
You is a fan of mine. You said he was a fan of mine in, I believe, in your one
I
of
lied.
your videos.
I
You
lied
said he was
about him
of
being a
mine,
fan.
and I was sending harassment your way.
I concede. Yes.
Don't you think
very
that's
good.
a big point of contention? Don't you feel like this is a big point of contention?
I concede. I want to show you an example
do you see my side of this though? Because like
you're being dishonest.
A random Sneeko fan comes up to me, wants the clout
Hassan
chase,
fan comes up to you.
Wants the clout chase, and you turn around and you say that he is a fan of mine to prove a point, to make a false point to imply that I'm sending people to harass you.
It's also an implication that the stuff that guy did is what's acceptable in Hassan's community, and also like what Hassan approves of. Like if that guy's anti-Semitic and makes anti-Semitic comments towards Ethan and Hila, then that's something that is common in Hassan's community, and thus is a reflection of Hassan. So yeah, it is actually a valid point to be like, no, he's not a fan of mine.
Do you feel
That's
like
not
that's
what I
appropriate?
implied. That's a total lie. I have never accused you of anything of the sort.
Ethan implied.
So
that
you
is an outright,
you did not
horrific,
imply that this person that was a
bad
fan
faith
of mine
lie.
was
Yes, I
actually
did.
harassing you.
Yes. Now, that's a big logical leap, Hassan, from he's a fan of yours to you're sending people to harass me. That's fucking insane. And by the way, you are a liar. You know that,
Did he not harass you?
Bro, what are you talking about?
Did he not harass you?
Did you send him to harass me? No.
Did he harass you, and then you imply in your video that he was a fan of mine, leading the audience to believe, leading the audience to believe. Here, we have a clip, by the way, Dan, if you want to play this supposed fan of mine, since you guys are playing clips over there.
By the way, this was a while ago. He turned on you when he saw that you support trans rights. I know. He spoke ill of you.
Okay, so then you know he's not a fan of Hassan. You know that at least now he's not a current fan of Hassan. And Hassan like spoke openly about trans rights like when he started Twitch streaming. So he wasn't a fan of Hassan's anytime in the last few years. And when did that video come out of Hassan doing a Palestinian encampment? At least since October 7th. So you're claiming that even when the guy was talking to Hassan and being like, "You're so cool, I'm such a big fan," he wasn't a fan of Hassan's. You're defeating your own your own point, dude.
No, even before he actually meets me.
Who cares? I'm not even mad. I don't care about this guy.
No, well, seemingly you care enough about it that you brought him up here and you used him in the past.
You didn't even let me explain why I'm showing
it.
it.
In the past to act like I was sending hate your way.
Bro, you're terrified because you know where this is going.
I have no idea where this is going. This has been a journey.
Well, how about you let me fucking speak, and then we can figure out. We can take the journey together.
This clip, though?
So this clip is just an example. Not that you're endorsing him. Not that he's a fan.
Dan, I sent you a clip.
I passed it along. It's out of my hands.
It's the first
I'll play it.
of this character.
Yeah, this is exactly what Ethan did when he was having conversations with Hassan on Leftovers before they broke up. Anytime he'd get called out for being a stubborn bitch and not actually understanding what Hassan was saying, he'd be like, "Whatever, dude, this is boring. Let's just move on from it. I mean, the audience doesn't even care about this. Let's move on." Like, he's just a coward when it comes to having conversations with people.
Onto the stream where he's like, "Who is this guy?"
I'll play it. Yeah.
Pothead or pot man. Is that it? Hey.
Are we gonna have to? Let's watch it on Ethan's. Let's jump back to Ethan's stream. 5246. Talking with, debating Hasan Piker. 5246. So this should be like an hour and 2 minutes.
Who the fuck I am. He just sees cameras and goes, "Oh, I would like to do interviews with this person who is famous," it seems. That was the whole point. The reason why I showed you that is because he was never... Chat, I think he's showing it on his side.
What are you talking about? You're not even...
It's the
introduction
of this character onto the stream where he's like, "Who is this guy?"
I'll play it, yeah.
Pothead or pot man. Is that it? Hey.
I could be on it. Are you guys doing interviews? I'm Palestinian. I know I look Jewish.
He doesn't.
Oh, no, we're just streaming.
Israeli. I look like Israeli.
We're just the guy.
Normally the answer would be yes, but he's busy right now.
What are you guys doing?
You're not there.
We're just streaming. It's live stream.
Oh, live streaming?
Yeah.
Dude.
You're not even in this clip, bro. What are you talking about? You're not even present.
Later.
He's talking to his maid. He doesn't want his maid to come onto the stream, guys. He's like, no, guy, no, go. I don't. You can't be on camera. Ethan Klein's here. Go. Later. Clean later.
You're out. What? You're out playing with swastika swords or something. You're not even in this clip.
Dude, why? Chat. I think he's showing it on his side. You're not seeing the clip. Yes. Yeah. He's
it's really
showing the clip.
Okay.
That is the first introduction of this character onto the broadcast, and he doesn't know who the fuck I am. He just sees cameras and goes, "Oh, I would like to do interviews with this person who is famous." It seems that was the whole point. The reason why I showed you that is because he was never a fucking fan.
Right. Let's jump back to Hassan's. Just like being able to see both of them at the same time better.
Chat. I like to do interviews with this person because he was never a fucking fan. And then when he saw the full extent of my viewpoints, he started calling me the F slur. He's a Sneeko fan.
Hassan, in that clip, he doesn't see you. You're not there.
Ethan, he is a clout chaser and not a fan.
Fine, bro. I don't care. Who cares?
Well,
let me ask you a question.
Because
okay, very good.
Care because you have made an inference that is
oh my
erroneous.
God, dude. You are dragging your feet on this topic, bro. It's getting ridiculous.
You've made
Can
an
we
inference
please move on?
that is ridiculous.
This clip you sent didn't prove me wrong at all. You're not there. And you were never there, Hassan. Okay, let's continue, please.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an example of someone who I think is anti-Semitic. You probably agree with me on that, but I don't want to put words in your mouth. He's not a fan of yours.
I think that guy. I mean, from what I've seen, any number of different things I've seen from that dude, I think he's like a right-wing dating coach or something.
Yeah, he is. Dating Money 101, baby.
Yeah.
Just like and sub. All right, so here he is using the ADL. He accuses me of being in the ADL, and I'll play it.
Okay.
I don't know, but I heard you survived it, and I heard you survived the Holocaust.
That timeline of that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Talking with this guy?
I heard you're in the ADL, bro.
The ADL? No, I'm not.
You're in the ADL, like it's some kind of superhero team.
I heard you're in the ADL, bro, which like obviously is, you know, I perceive that as anti-Semitic.
I don't think you're in the ADL, Ethan, if that's what you're gonna say.
Well, you said, and I'll quote a tweet that you made.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. You said, I'll quote, he worked with the ADL to make Zionists a protected class on Twitch. Now that is an outright lie.
I don't think it's an outright lie.
I worked with the ADL,
didn't you?
Sorry. I worked with the ADL. What does that mean?
Yeah, as in like worked alongside. I don't think you're in the ADL.
Real? Oh, that's what you meant when you said I worked with the ADL. I worked beside them, just incidentally together. You didn't mean that I worked with them privately to get people banned. Of course not.
No, I do think that. I stand by that.
Didn't you say you choose your words very carefully?
Alongside the ADL.
You just told me briefly ago, you choose your words very carefully, Hassan.
Not always. I am famously.
Oh, okay. We're walking that back. Sometimes I speak out the side of my mouth when I say you work with the ADL. Here you are again repeating the lie with Steiny on video. Go ahead. You had time to
come after me.
Once again, Ethan took credit for basically the ADL's actions. He drew attention to Twitch and the people that were on Twitch that he wanted banned. The ADL applied pressure to it, and then Ethan took credit for the consequences of the pressure that the ADL applied to Twitch. And he knows that he does this, but he thinks that this is an angle that he can attack other people for and call them anti-Semitic, which is exactly what he's doing. He knocked over. Oh my God! It's like Chekhov's water glass. He knocked it over.
Knows I'm not anti-Semitic, and making these inferences that I am, and like partnering with like the ADL and
partnering with the ADL. You want to unpack that one there, buddy?
Yeah. Again, partnering with the ADL. That is precisely what took place.
I have never spoken to the ADL, so what does that mean?
I'm not saying you directed the ADL to take
action. You know
how
silly
you know what?
look.
I am kind of saying that. I am implying that you directed the ADL to take action. You are
that's a defamatory claim that has zero proof.
You are
and frankly,
Yeah, I think Ethan definitely had his stream monetized by YouTube. I mean, he did ads on it, so even if he's doesn't have it monetized on YouTube, he's getting paid by like Shopify.com and whatever other ads he's doing. Yeah, he's making money off of all of this shit. That's why he's doing it, because he knows it gets him views. I mean, his non-Hassan shit doesn't get nearly as much views as his Hassan videos. Like, my computer's about to die, so I don't know if I can pull open more tabs, but if we just take a look at some of the views on his live streams, the debate shit gets way more attention than just Ethan doing, oh my god, let's dress up as silly characters and talk about dumb things. Alright, let's see if my computer functions.
Sounds a little Jewish conspiratorial.
If I thought that you worked for the ADL, I wouldn't have said you worked
I've not
with
spoken
the
to the ADL.
I would have said you worked for the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is that you have taken
I do not
credit
work
for
with the
these
ADL.
bans.
Hassan, I do not work with the ADL.
You were a part of the mass smear campaign with
That
your
is not
YouTube
working with the
videos
ADL. Would you say that
falsely claimed
I got nothing
that
to do with the ADL? Blame Frogan for doing a racist fucking panel at TwitchCon that became a viral story independent of me.
Ethan.
No, dude, you brought it up on your podcast. It got tons of views, hundreds of thousands of views on your podcast. You brought a lot of attention to it as well.
Just like cracker is not an anti-white term, except public pressure clearly works on Twitch, and they
I don't think it's
erroneous
demonetized.
bans when they don't want people coming after them. Twitch has
Here's
caved
Frogan
and
repeating the
capitulated
same
to
lie that
public
she heard from
pressure
you.
on numerous
Acting like
instances.
with the last
This is
year
what she
and a
learned
half,
from you.
Everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a
So
joke.
she said I weaponized the ADL. You said I partnered with the ADL. You said I worked with the ADL, but you didn't mean that I spoke to them. You just meant that we were magically skipping along and happened to just, without even seeing each other, just working together in perfect harmony and love. And by the way, I'm pretty sure you're implying that I worked directly with them on this.
Bro, Ethan, when you say that, yeah, I was instrumental in the ADL getting people banned and instrumental in the ADL pressuring Twitch to change its TOS, what are people supposed to think? Yeah, people are going to say, when you take credit for that shit, people are going to be like, okay, Ethan Klein did this with the ADL. Like, they're two forces that have the same interests, which is shutting down pro-Palestinian speech, and you had the same interests. You took actions along the pathway to achieving that interest, achieving that goal, and then the goal was achieved, and you took credit for it.
No, I don't think you worked.
Okay, well,
directly
you
with them.
doubled down on it. You said that you do believe that, and I just want to let you know that
No,
that
I
is
don't
a
think you directly work with them.
Hey, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, Sunset Beats. If you were not lucky enough to get gifted a sub and you want your name to be in green, it's a very pretty color of green, please consider joining the channel as a member. It's only 99 cents per month, only $1 a month, and it helps me pay my editors, and it makes me feel good inside. So thank you very much.
I think your goals are aligned on this. Yes, and
But then, for Mr. Precise words, say that. Don't say you're partnered with the ADL. Do you understand? You said partnered with the ADL. Me, a Jewish man, you accuse without any evidence at all of being partnered with the ADL. You're now trying to rewrite history and say I said you were working besides
you took ownership
them.
over
You
it.
are
What
a
are you
liar.
talking about?
You are a virulent fucking liar.
Ethan, did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
I think, yeah, I might have.
Oh my god, dude, literally, he stops. Bro, that's actually comedic timing. Like, that's a true comedian right there. Oh my god, Ethan, like, he needs to quit podcasting and just get into, like, doing skit shows, because that was funny as fuck. The physical comedy of him about to take a sip of water and then be like, yeah, maybe.
Of being partnered with the ADL.
Ethan,
You're now trying to rewrite history and say, I said you were working
You took
besides
ownership
them.
over
You
it.
are
What
a
are you
liar.
talking about?
You are a virulent fucking liar.
Ethan, did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
I think yeah, I might have.
Ownership over it. What are you talking about?
You are a virulent fucking liar.
Ethan, did you or did you not take ownership over the bans?
I think, yeah, I might have. Does that mean that I'm working with the ADL? Does that mean that I'm working with the ADL?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted.
Ethan?
Hey, Hassan, can I ask you a
I
question?
dropped my
Are you
mic.
working with the Neo-Nazi Party of America? Because they're also anti-Zionist. No, seriously, are you working with the Neo-Nazi Group of America who's also anti-Zionist?
Ethan, have
Do
I
you
ever
work with
taken
them?
credit?
Are you affiliated with
Have I
them? Are
ever
you
taken credit
are
for
you
an
partnered with
anti-Semitic
neo-Nazis?
incident
Or,
that the
or do you
neo-Nazis-
guys?
I mean, once again, Ethan Klein and neo-Nazis were going, or not neo-Nazis, and ADL were going after specific streamers. And then once again, the ADL got rid of the streamer, at least they got them banned for a time, and they got the TOS changed to give Zionism more protection. Ethan Klein then went onto his podcast and said, yeah, I take credit for that. Okay, so if a Nazi organization gets a prominent Jewish streamer like Norman Finkelstein, his YouTube channel deleted or something, and Hassan goes on to his podcast and is like, I take credit for that because I was going after Norman Finkelstein, and then this Nazi organization sent letters to the Trump administration, and they're like, you're jeopardizing the foreign policy of this government, so we're going to take Norman Finkelstein's channel off YouTube. And then Hassan goes on to his channel and he's like, I brought a lot of attention to Norman Finkelstein's channel, saying how bad it is, saying how dangerous it is, saying how someone should step in. Yeah, I actually do take credit for this neo-Nazi organization in getting his channel taken down. Then that would be an apt comparison. And then you could say that Hassan worked with, I don't know, Christians United for Israel, Kufi. Hassan did work with Kufi to get Norman Finkelstein banned off of YouTube. Then that would be something that you could say. And it wouldn't be like anti-Christian or whatever, because it would be based in facts. So that would be a comparison, but not Hassan criticizing you and then Nazis also criticizing you or whatever. Also, Nazis aren't really criticizing Ethan. Maybe some are, but maybe some anti-Israel Nazis are. But a lot of right-wingers actually enjoy what Ethan's doing, which is attacking pro-Palestinian content creators.
Happen to have the same goal and are completely related.
Here's a parallel for you. Have I taken credit for a neo-Nazi anti-Semitic incident that took place?
Exactly what I just said.
The answer is yes. If neo-Nazis actually engaged in an action,
Swastika sword.
Neo-Nazis actually, not like your fucking hallucinations, something that we all from your perspective, my association as a 10-year fighter of anti-Semitism, my association from your perspective with anti-Semitism is like something that is so laughable that I don't even know how
Hyde,
to
what are you
describe.
doing? You're back in this chat? I thought you weren't loyal.
That's how loose this association is.
Looks like
but on the other hand, I can't say that you have worked alongside the ADL.
That's not what you said.
In getting streamers
You said I'm
banned.
partnered with.
That's anti-Semitic.
Is this stream not working? Yeah, I'm losing frames, guys. Goddamn. I have to need to protect this computer from the sun that's going on it.
Partnered with.
Hopefully this works now.
You are rewriting. You are not taking accountability. You said I'm partnered with the ADL.
I can't take accountability for your hallucinations.
Hassan, do you think that the normal, reasonable person watching that will infer that we were just coincidentally working the same, or that I was working directly with them?
What do you think a reasonable
What
person
do you
would
think the
infer
average
when
person
you
would
take
conclude
credit for
from
the
saying
bands?
I'm partnered with the ADL?
What do you think a normal, reasonable person would infer when they hear you, Ethan
Bro, you are
Klein,
literally
make
gaslighting me.
numerous
It's
videos
so obvious
demanding
what
the
you
bans
meant.
You're gaslighting me. You're gaslighting me, Hassan. Dude, in a debate, that's not called gaslighting. That's called losing a debate.
of Twitch streamers, and then after they are banned, you say, I'm glad that they got banned. I take credit for it. What would a normal, reasonable person infer from that?
I was on the tier list, dude.
What?
I was responding to them. It wasn't like it wasn't like I went out of my way to get them banned.
Shoot. Yeah, my computer really is just overheating.
I responded to them. I was on the tier. It wasn't like it wasn't like I went out of my way to get them banned. I responded to them. I was on the tier list. There's been 3 instances.
That's not a response. You didn't respond to being put on the F tier of identifying with Arab culture. What you did is say it was an anti-Jewish tier list. That's what you did. That's not a response. That's slandering them.
I think of, in my opinion, very credible accusations of anti-Semitism. You've accused me of hallucinating all 3 now, which is very convenient.
Because they're
and
not
also,
credible. We are not in agreement. These are not credible allegations of anti-Semitism. These are hysterical hallucinations of a person who desperately wants all of his critics to be anti-Semites so he can feel comfortable.
I'm so glad this is on record.
In the unique position that he has created for himself.
I'm so glad this is on record. So
Yeah,
you think
I'm glad you yes.
So you think that you think a reasonable person would hear you say he's partnered with the ADL and not think that I was working directly with them?
I think a reasonable person.
Oh, fuck. All right, note to self, next outdoor stream is going to have to be underneath some shade.
Partnered with the ADL and not think that I was working directly with them?
I think a reasonable person will hear your own words and think that you probably worked directly inside of the ADL.
Have I ever mentioned the ADL? Have I ever mentioned the ADL?
Yeah, he has.
You took credit for
Did I
the
ever
ban.
mention the ADL, Hassan? Answer the question.
Matter. You took credit for the ban that the ADL pressured.
Do I?
I mean, he's definitely mentioned at least Richie Torres and talked about that. I think he mentioned the ADL too. And then he's also talked about the ADL before on his show. Maybe not in the context of Frogan and Denham's in that tier list, but he's definitely talked about the ADL on his show.
Ever mentioned the ADL in my entire fucking career?
I'm laughing in your face, idiot. And I did that shit. I'll take credit for it. I fucking did that shit.
I didn't even know what they were.
I hope she gets permanently
frankly,
banned.
If you have the thing, it was even. Did I ever?
It's a clip where you are saying, "I did that shit. I'll fucking take credit for it." You know who did that shit? The ADL did. You are taking credit for something that the ADL did. I'm not even making that inference. You're saying,
well, they attacked
which one do you think? What do you think the average person would think
you
in
sound
this
so
situation?
silly, bro.
When you.
Oh my god, literally Ethan has nothing. So when Hassan calls him out and is like, dude, you criticized them, the ADL then got them banned, and then you took credit for the ADL getting them banned. What do you want me to say? He's like, oh, you sound so silly, dude.
Are saying that you did that shit, and it's the ADL's pressure that caused these people to be banned for such a ridiculous,
Bro, I was being silly. I don't care.
Not
listen,
anti-Semitic thing at all.
I was being silly. They attacked me. I responded. Do I
you're
know?
being
Do I know
silly.
who? Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well. All right, I guess we can move on then.
Well, do I think I got them banned? I don't know. Who knows? You know,
Yeah,
I think
you got a Jewish content creator alongside multiple Arab content creators banned off the platform for 30 days because you cried
There's a reason
about
they
it,
call
and
them
then the
token,
ADL
my
actually
friend.
reacted
You
because
spend
they saw it
time
as
being a
great
token, you're gonna
opportunity.
get spent.
But it was just silly.
Oh god, he's so gross.
You know, fuck them, right?
You want to
Silly.
cash in on your Jewish friends anymore? Or can we move on?
Am I what?
What?
Would you like to cash in on your Jewish friends more, or can we move on?
Cash in on my Jewish friends.
That's right. Do you know any Jewish people that aren't anti-Zionists?
Yes.
He knows you.
I'm not going to review. I don't want to. They're normies. I don't want to.
Okay. Yeah, you're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're surrounded. Yes, you are. You're absolutely.
What the fuck, dude? You're lying? What do you want? You want Hassan to give them their name, number, address, social security card, and where they work so that you can look them up?
absolutely lying.
Dog, I live in West Hollywood. You think I'm not around Zionist Jews? What are you talking about?
Yeah, do you pass Jews on the street? Yes. Are you friends with?
No, I'm friends. Yes,
Okay,
I am.
Very good. I
And
don't believe
they've
you.
treated me with much
Bro,
more.
holy shit, Ethan's such a fucking loser. Yeah, Hassan actually has friends. Ethan's just like, no, I can't believe that you have friends that aren't online. Holy shit, dude.
Dignity than you have, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, because
Surprisingly
they're
enough,
not
we
on
can
the
have a more
receiving end of
normal
an insane
conversation.
fucking
I can have a more
harassment
normal
campaign.
conversation with
Why
them
would they? Why
than
wouldn't
you,
they?
seemingly.
All right, so you
They would
think
most
that
likely laugh at
just to
all of
recap,
this if
just to
they're watching.
recap here, but so we can move on. I mean, did the random Zionist Jews that are treated you so kindly, did they have CPS show up to their house or skulls sent to their house?
Ethan, I didn't do that.
Bro, you're a podcaster. You're a podcaster with millions of subscribers. Why would random people get CPS called on them and skulls sent to them? Why would random people get doxxed online? I'm sorry, that's like a hazard of the trade. That's a consequence of putting your face online. You run the risk of getting harassed. What is the point you're trying to make?
I didn't say you did that.
I don't know why you're bringing that up. But
I know you
that has
don't, but
nothing
you're
to do with
acting
me.
up.
I'm not
Part
in
of
support.
This stream is dying.
Ethan, I didn't do that.
Ethan.
I didn't say you did that.
I don't know why you're bringing that up. But
I know you
that has
don't, but
nothing
you're
to do with
acting
me.
up.
I'm not in
Part of
support
your
that.
shtick, Hassan, is acting obtuse when you're caught in a corner.
All right. You've dominated the conversation so far. I think we should get back to some stuff that.
I agree. Let's just summarize.
No. Look, can we just get back to Israel?
This is
Palestine,
quick.
please?
It's
'Cause,
very quick.
You see as a genocide.
I just want to put a cap.
Guys, I might have to end this and finish this later. I might have to take this inside, let this computer cool off a little bit. This stream, okay, maybe it's fine for now.
On this, just a cap.
You're doing the thing that I'm so critical of you on. Okay.
Partnering with like the ADL. And
you said so. Just to put a cap on this, and we'll move on. You said I'm quote partnered with the ADL, which you now. Just to put a cap on this, and we'll move on.
We're having technical difficulties.
Partnered with the ADL, which you now claim was just a. You didn't mean that I was working with them. You mean that we had the same goal. Okay, very good. We'll see how that plays. Go ahead. What's your question?
Okay.
A P.O. box? No fucking way, dude. We're gonna get.
Because you're currently doing the thing.
Gonna
that I'm
get
criticizing you
anthrax.
on, where you are looking at a situation that you recognize is a genocide, and your only consideration and your only concern.
It's not my only concern. I care about multiple things, my friend.
Yes, you can.
He does not
These
care
are
about
really
Palestinians.
stupid things to care about, Ethan.
I mean, that's easy for you to say. You're the one being accused of it. Let's just ask the accused how serious their crime is. Fucking brilliant. O.J.
What?
Simpson.
Hassan's not being accused of posing with the swastika sword. Hassan's not being accused of doing a tier list. Why is apparently Hassan being accused for all of this shit now when Ethan brought up other people doing it? I guess he's accusing Hassan of saying that he worked with the ADL and that Hassan basically had a checkmate moment there, and Ethan's like, yeah, I guess I did I guess I did take credit for the ADL getting these people banned.
Do you think that this is a serious court case?
That
No, I don't.
Sabra
Well,
Hummus'
fucking
shit
there it
tier-
is. Let's
you
let
think
him
that
free.
The Sabra Hummus' shit tier is akin to O.J. Simpson killing someone.
No, obviously not. You're
Then
being
why are
obtuse
you
again.
bringing up stupid fucking
Because
parallels?
you are saying.
Bro, I actually kind of wish Hassan had the bleach sword during this debate. It would just be so ridiculous.
That the accused, right, can dictate how serious the accusations are.
Okay. All right, Ethan.
I'm partnered with the ADL. Remember what you said.
Talked about your pro-Palestinian bona fides. You have talked
What
about
do you
how
mean
you
bona
gave
fides?
my fundraiser. What?
Sorry, what do you mean by bona fides?
Like you've claimed that you are a stalwart ally of the Palestinian cause. You
Correct.
tried to also say this to Sam Cedar as well. You brought forward the fact that you had given $6,500 in your context puke that you did.
Oh shit, dude!
as
Ethan's
as
just gonna
further
take that
indication you are
slander.
pro-Palestinian, even though you then turned around and actually criticized
All right.
additional fundraisers that had taken place, like the Creators for Palestine charity that generated $1.3 million, including the fundraiser that you initially had given $6,500 to as a reason for why you were such a staunch ally. Why did you turn around and say that pro-Palestinian fundraisers are actually completely irrelevant in the grand scheme of things and completely useless? Do you think that pro-Palestinian charities are simply there to make yourself feel like you're pro-Palestine?
Yeah, this is another hypocrisy where Ethan Klein will say, oh, donating to pro-Palestinian charities is meaningless. Why don't they actually like do something real? But then he'll also say, I'm pro-Palestinian because I donated to one. Okay. Like, of course it's a hypocrisy, and he doesn't even care about this. He just wants to be able to criticize people even if they have a charity, but then he wants to use it as a way to shield himself from criticism.
Do you feel like $6,500 was enough for you to spend the rest of the year actively deplatforming pro-Palestinian content
People
creators?
harassing me?
What?
I'll answer your question.
All right.
So I claimed when talking about, now, by the way, this is something I criticize you for, which is, being obtuse, mischaracterizing arguments, and basically just being a prolific liar. So here's what the conversation was about, right? I was talking about how when you're talking about activism, raising money isn't the most important thing because it can only do so much. There's other ways to do.
Oh wait, Lizzie Rosa, you made a video? Wait, did you? Oh yeah. I gotta check out your channel. I'll check out your channel later. You know what? I think I'm gonna do a copyright stream, because there's a documentary I want to watch on stream, and that's copyrighted. I want to listen to the new Kanye song on stream, but I can't monetize my video if that song's on there. So I think I'm going to do a copyright stream. I'll watch your video. I'll watch I'll watch a few documentaries and listen to some racist Kanye music. So maybe not right now, but guys, I think I'm going to end this stream anyway right now, just because my computer is overheating. I do want to listen to Ethan Klein's response, so we'll play his response, and then we're going to call it, at least for now. And then later we'll
effective activism,
finish it
like
up.
protesting, et cetera, working with Palestinian organizations. So I'm just saying, my point was not
But you
that
wanted
raise.
me to be
Hold the
deplatformed as a
phone. Let me
virulent
finish.
anti-Semite, and I've done all of those things.
My point was that not that raising money is bad or dumb or pointless, as you erroneously claim I said. My point was that it's not the most effective thing in the world, and there's other things. It's probably like the least effective form of advocacy you can do. That was my opinion.
I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that the Palestinians that received
What's
those.
Not the case? What I said or what I claim?
No, your claim is wrong in terms of the fundraisers not being important.
That's fine.
So we've established that you claim to be pro-Palestine, and yet you've
All
spent.
right. Well, he's going to get into whether Ethan's pro-Palestine or not. I think we can call it there. Do I dare open up Reddit? I don't even know if I'm logged in, so we might not even be able to see content. Debuty content debuty has dropped. Deputy. How do you put a B? Did he just misspell it? This is the best statement out of the whole debate and summarize Ethan's view on the issue. I choked on my breakfast sausage. Yeah, Keemsar. Invitation for Nisa's husband to join LolCow. It's unreal. I just want to see their reactions to it. We love you, Ethan. My favorite part of the debate. Content debuty. Hassan's insist. Just, can you give me a reaction? Ian, okay. This moment, this. Best comment. Timestamp boy, this moment. Anyone else notice how two non-Jewish men, Ian and Hassan, are the ones saying whether something is anti-Semitic or not? Just, okay. I think we can end it with that, because they literally had Sam Cedar on their show 2 days ago, and Sam Cedar said that that statement Ethan was saying is anti-Semitic is not anti-Semitic. So you're conveniently ignoring Sam Cedar and all of the Zionist Jews. And this is what I'm talking about when I say that it is anti-Semitic to claim that all Jews support Israel, because you are ignoring Jewish people and stripping them away. You're defining Jewishness as a support of Israel. And when someone says, well, I'm Jewish and I don't support Israel, you're like, well, you're not really Jewish, right? So that's what Ethan Klein is doing. That's the kind of idea that is being spread in his community. Anyway, guys, like the stream, share it. Lizzie Rosa, I'm going to check out your video. I don't know if you emailed me a link, but send me a link in an email and I'll watch it on stream. Anyway, guys, I'm going to head out, and guys, go outside, touch some grass, and I'll be on later today to finish his debate. So, see ya.